What is going on, football fans? It's your boy Lolo, and I just feel so much love in my heart right now for such a fantastic season that has come to a close, even though there were only a couple matches where fans could actually be in the stands. I can't tell you guys enough how much this little community that we have created here with the On the Stoop contributors, the Stoop crew, and everybody has meant to me. And as I say that, I'm going, right. Where is that fool? Get him in here. The boy.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, football fans? So good to see you.
Can you believe it? This was our first complete full season, and we're done. We're done. This is a specialty show. We're technically done.
We started off with who the hell is Leeds United, and we're ending with this is Leeds United. Fantastic.
We did. And hold on one second. I just want to say what's up to the Stoop crew. And I know you guys, look, Mr. Tom, there ain't enough salt in the world to get across how upset I am that I've been robbed of my icons by YouTube. Mr. Tom, I am telling you, what a way to start the day. It was like Oscar night for me. Wait a
minute. We don't have emojis anymore?
There's no emojis. We don't know who's a Stoop crew member, who's not a Stoop crew member. I mean, we do by their names and everything. But Ben Ireland, it's not just you. I woke up this morning to a bunch of emails saying that there was a clerical error and my channel is no longer monetized for the time being. And if we don't get it sorted, it's going to be everyone will be refunded their money, and that really sucks.
Oh, wow.
But
we know who the Stoop crew is.
We're getting it sorted. And if you guys look, there's a pinned comment in the comments section right there. And it has a PayPal donation link if you guys feel like throwing some tips our way. And I can and we will get that, and we will get all the notifications for that. So you can do that if you guys want to show us some love. So now let's get to it. This is the Leeds United tribute show. This is just this is a fun way for us to say thank you for all of the love that has been thrown our way to a freaking Arsenal fan and a Wolves fan over here. And it all started right here. Roll that beautiful footage. He's like,
roll. Here we go.
Which one?
Number one. If I'm new to the Premier League, I'm new to football, I'm choosing a team. Why should I choose Leeds United to be my team?
Okay, my response would be this. You don't choose Leeds United. Leeds United chooses you. That's it.
And that's it. And that's it. And that was our introduction to this man right here.
That's right.
Mr. James.
Leeds.
How proud are you of that statement right there?
Extremely proud. Because, I mean, look, our style of football is so attractive and so exciting that now people are starting to come in and say, I get this all the time at Leeds United in New Orleans, hey, I don't know much about Leeds, and can you, tell me something about them? And, this is my first year following the Premiership, where I followed another club and now I want to follow Leeds. I'm just like, okay, what do you say, welcome, but you need to learn some things.
Yeah, I think our director bought a Leeds hoodie right after you made that statement. I think he pulled out his phone, pulled up Amazon, and ordered it right there and then. It was amazing.
I think he said, when James said wide world of sports, that's when because back then the only way you could watch was like one match of the week on wide world of sports or something.
Yeah, well, usually it was just the FA Cup final. I mean, that's how I first saw Leeds, was the 72 FA Cup final against Arsenal. And then I saw them again against Sunderland, of course, the following year, but we won't talk about that. And
you see all this love getting here? Look, James is the reason I got into football.
Yeah. I mean, look, And it's Leeds is not just, it's not about following the club. It's not about supporting a sports club. It's about a way of life. I mean, you accept sort of certain things with it, I mean, it's a family, it's a family, and it's a culture, and that's Leeds. It's not just a weekend thing. Okay, I'm going to wake up in the morning and watch, a Premiership match. It's not like that. It's you live it. I mean, you live it every day. And when you walk the streets of a foreign city and you're wearing Leeds colors, and someone does the Leeds salute to you, you better know how to respond, and you better know the words to Marching On Together, and you better know. I mean, these are things that come on. It's a culture. Yeah, like I said, it's a culture, man.
So,
it's a culture.
It's funny that you say that, James, because when I was getting my second jab at the Javits Center, or the Javits Center, we'll call it, there was a young kid in a Leeds shirt, and you've got like the bank line, and you're going back and forth, and it moves pretty quickly. And I see the guy, and I'm like, oh, it's a Leeds shirt, and I see him a second time, and I'm like, Leeds, and he just like kind of looks at me like I'm like a freak in Times Square, like I'm about ready to unzip my pants.
Yeah. I think we're getting a lot of those sort of blank looks and curious looks from here on out. It used to not be that way. It used to be like, oh, someone's wearing a Leeds top. That's, come on. They're part of the club. But, now who knows?
So, James, I just can't believe that first video, that first who the hell are Leeds United? And so many people saying like, fuck you if you don't know who Leeds United are. Fuck off. And then people in the comments going, you don't understand. This James guy knows more than you know. I don't care how close you live to the stadium. This guy over somewhere in the United States knows more than you. And this is how much you know about your club. We asked you before the season began. We asked you for your predictions. So let's roll that footage. So where do you see Leeds finishing this season?
I mean, I'm hoping for, at the worst, mid-table. But I think that if we get some of the players that we're pursuing now, specifically Rodrigo De Paul and Rafinha, I think that we could break into the top 10. I mean, maybe 9 or 10. Maybe we could do it. We could pull a Sheffield United. I mean, it's quite conceivable.
You crushed it.
Yeah, there you go.
And you actually, wasn't it Sheffield United's record that you broke for the most points?
Yeah.
So if we could pull a Sheffield United.
Or Ipswich Town.
Yeah, Ipswich.
Sorry.
With the Tractor Boys.
I know some little club.
Yeah, the Tractor Boys. Yeah, we did that. We haven't heard of in years. The Tractor Boys. The Tractor Boys have disappeared off the football map.
Luke Williamson says, "Bang on." How much more bang on? We could get 10th or 9th. And you guys on the last day or 9th. Why not?
Yeah.
That was absolutely fantastic. Well, James, I saw you. Sorry, man, but we got so many guests. I gotta.
No, bring them on.
Let me just say, what was it like for you? I was watching you as you watched our little intro, because you're used to what our intros are. And our intro was a little different. We had some photos of a Stoop crew at Ellen Road, this sign right here.
Yeah.
And then I saw you as the footage of Marching On Together. Or no, that was something else of them just singing. And you just went. What was that like? And actually, we have one more little video. I think this is Marching On And that's all we can play due to YouTube licensing.
And the crazy thing is that actually sounds loud. And there was only 8,000 people in the stadium. And how many people does Ellen Road hold?
About 38,000, but church is loud, my friend. Church is loud.
Yes, indeed.
Everybody sings, everybody stands, there's no there are no wallflowers at Ellen Road, I can tell you. So no, it sends chills up my spine.
I
Are
wanna
you
bring
asking my
in,
reaction? I mean,
I want to
Yeah.
bring in right now. We have Rob, who was actually out there, who actually shot that footage and got the chance to go to the match. Rob, how are you doing, man?
Leeds.
Lose.
And listen,
Hey, Rob,
there's only
how's it going, man?
There's only 2 of those signs that have been printed in the world, so you have them. This is a TV monitor. So I'm not
Cheers,
sure if
man,
you
for
got a
doing
chance
that.
to meet James the
No,
last
you're
time.
welcome.
But how was that? How was hearing
Oh man,
I mean,
yeah. I mean, to hear that amount of noise from 8,000 people instead of the, I was going the whole 2 championship seasons when we got promoted, whenever I could, obviously. When we got promoted, there was 35 to 37,000 each game, and it almost felt that loud again, just to be there with the atmosphere, with the, and that video was taken in the family stand. It's not even in the crazy area. That was the family stand.
Yeah, the South stand. The South stand's my favorite now. Yeah, it's great.
Wow. Well, that is absolutely fantastic. Well, thank you so much for doing that. Stay right where you are, and not like you can go anywhere really. But I just want to bring in a couple. Yeah, I said stay there. These kids these days, James, they just don't listen.
I know.
I want to bring in another Stoop contributor, another guy that has been here for us all season. I mean, fuck, he's on my FIFA team now. From all the way across the
wherever they are,
over there somewhere. I want to bring in Terry. Terry runs a badass podcast called Only Football Fans. They get all sorts of cool people to come on, and they actually know facts about things. So we don't like it to have him on the show too often. He makes us look bad. But he, started off his Only Football Fans podcast with a bunch of friends of his that all support different teams as well. So little similarities to ours, more facts, more drinking, probably on our show. I don't know.
Yeah,
we're never sure.
So Terry, how was it for you when you saw the fans in the stands?
Emotional, to be honest, mate. Yeah, it was quite an emotional day anyway, with the whole Pablo and Berardi signing off for the club. So it was a bit of an emotional day. I must admit, I did well up a few times. I was watching it with my dad, and I'm trying not to speak to him because I knew as soon as I spoke, I would just blub like a little girl. So I thought, I best.
In this case, you're allowed.
Yeah, don't, because if I talk about it too much, I probably will.
Well, we actually got no's from people when we were saying, "Do you guys want to call in the show?" And they're like, "Nah, not today, man."
Yeah,
and I'm like, yeah, it's bigger than me.
Honestly, mate, it was such a. Yeah, it was quite a strange feeling watching it. It almost felt like now we've arrived. Like finally we've arrived and people are back. But at the same time we were losing 2 legends. So it was sort of and also alongside that we're celebrating a magnificent season, our first season back. It was a really sort of a bit of an emotional roller coaster, if I'm honest.
And like nobody even mentions that completed a nasty double over another promoted side, like a nasty double. I think, what was it, 8-1 or something?
Yes.
8-2?
Yeah,
like a
something
nasty
like that,
double. So fellas, we're gonna keep talking to you guys all. We got a couple more hours. I got one more guest I want to bring on for right now, just because this 5 of us will look better with 6.
But then we're gonna need Alice in the middle.
That'll be true. That'll be Director John. What's going on? This is Phil from All Leeds TV. You guys might recognize him from a show just an hour ago. The dude's been talking forever, and he decided to come and talk a little bit more, not realizing that on my show you don't really get to talk, right, guys?
I've been waiting to talk for almost a year.
So first of all, I just want to say big thank you to All Leeds TV. You guys invited James and I think I came as like a handbag to James, but James was the real catch.
No, you did well though, man. That was great.
I showed him. I was like,
you showed up.
So you guys inviting us to your show and all that good content that you guys put out, you've really helped us more than you even know. And being on your show legitimized us to a lot of Leeds fans who were like, "This is an Arsenal fan, first of all," and I'm like, "Okay, but fuck up, then don't watch the show." But James, our Leeds fan, knows what he's talking about, and me and Mark are learning every week. And we have people like Terry come on. We send dudes like Rob out to the stadium, you know. So I just want to say, personally, thank you to all Leeds TV, Joe, Oscar, everybody over there. We would love to have any of you guys on the show at any time. So, Phil, now you get 2 seconds.
Very humbling. Thank you.
All right. That was good.
Now let's move on.
I'm just kidding.
Enough about you. What do you think?
I need a sip of water.
I was just going to let you keep going, to be honest. I'm happy to just watch now. Carry on.
Well, good. If you're honest about that, then all right. Take the what did I just give him? Thank you. Yeah. I was like, take the apology. What am I apologizing for? Nothing. So now that I have all you guys on here, and Stoop Crew, how y'all doing, Stoop Crew? Give me a thumbs up or something. You got no emojis. I feel so sad for you. What a day to not have the emojis, the Bielsa emojis. But guys, Stoop Crew, I need your attention for a second. It's been an emotional year for many, 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 many reasons. And who the hell would have thought that we'd be ending our season for a team like this that none of us had even really heard of, besides like, oh, they don't exist. They're like White Walkers. They don't exist. You know, they're not real. And then you guys came up with
from the north.
From the north, yeah, exactly. The White Walkers. That was a better analogy than I should have wrote something down.
From the north, we do what we want.
Yeah. So I've been asked. Anyway, all I want to say is, my Stoop Crew, I love you. All you guys, I can't thank you guys enough for everything you've done for our channel and the support that you've shown for your team. Fuck it, has made me do this. Do it, John.
16 years since they've been here in the top flight. So ladies and gents, welcome back to the Mighty Whites. Down a division and then down another tier. It might have took forever, but they're back this year. And this team here is not the same old, same old. This one here has eyes on the top half of the table. From week one, going to the home of the champs, thrown straight into the fire with butterfly cramps. But before the whistle was blown and that first kick was taken, a moment to remember the 16 years that it's taken to break in to the top flight and bring home the bacon, to influence the league and leave the mother clubs shaking. But this is Liverpool at Anfield. Don't expect too much. They won the league in style and can hardly be touched. But here come these kids, this championship squad. All of a sudden, it wasn't Salah making the punditry applaud. In the end, Leeds lost the match 3-4, but the league was given notice that they couldn't ignore, that these boys gonna score, leave the other teams floored, that anyone watching it would not be bored. But whatever, this is just a newly promoted side. Come the middle of the season, their pace will have died. They'll have nowhere to hide. They'll have no legs to ride. They'll suffer Bielsa burnout and a second tier slide. And then there were moments here and there that the fans started to wonder, can we do just enough to keep us from going back under? How many points do we need to stave off relegation? Just got to buy us another year to build up this foundation. But lose to Leicester by 3 and to Chelsea 3-1. Sorry to bring it up, everybody, but 6-2 to the scum. Everyone's saying, watch the burnout begin. These guys were fun for a bit, but here's where it ends. That Bamford guy sucks, misses most of the shots that he takes. That kid in the goal makes mostly mistakes. This team runs around like a chicken without a head. Yeah, they scored a bunch of goals, but their defense is dead. Hold up. Apologies for when I said everyone was saying. Because Leeds fans all knew that this way of playing wasn't just some gimmick to win a few games. Bielsa flipped the whole club. Top to bottom they changed. It wasn't a flash in the pan, a one-season wonder of a thing. It was El Loco with a gut feeling in 2018. Coming to a club with the history, but all in the past. So he hit the ground running with his foot on the gas, had the boys in the grass, perfecting the pass, murder ball sessions, kicking all of their ass. And you could tell, every team they played went through hell, doing post-match presses, not breathing too well. Well, you know, every time we play Leeds United, they make you run. But it wasn't going to be enough to just be fun and exciting. Losing to Arsenal, then Wolves, we could all see the season sliding. First few months of the new year were middling at best, but the death month of April would be the ultimate test. You had Blunts, then City, Liverpool, then Scum. Honestly, 4 points would have been a decent outcome. Start off, beat the Blunts, trap game, no problem. Wasn't even bothered by that dude Feckenbottom. Then the match of the year, hell, of the career of those men on the pitch and your boy right here, when a 10-man Leeds team took down City. That Dallas nutmeg on Edison was so damn pretty. Looked like a loss to Liverpool until then they got a last-minute goal by Diego Llorente. Another draw at home, this time to the Scum, but I'm pretty sure the refs missed a handball in that one. Either way, well done. 8 points in the month of death. Then I guess they took a moment at Brighton to catch their breath. But they done it. The goal of survival was met. Only 4 matches to go, but the boys weren't done yet. Finish strong was the cry. Push into the top 10. So they won all 4 and let the party begin. Pablo and Berardi were sent off in style to an Ellen Road crowd filled with tears and smiles. Every Leeds fan that suffered for the last 16 years knows that those 2 were key to getting y'all right here. That last match at home was an emotional one. The first time seeing fans, hearing songs being sung. Imagine the boys playing all season with no crowd. Then that first marching on together being belted out loud. How could they not just stop playing and just stare at the stands? I mean, I'd be weeping, overwhelmed with my head in my hands, thinking about all these people, survivors, them all. This year was so different. It wasn't just about football. We've been in a pandemic, torn apart. So we dive into our clubs to feel something in our heart, to feel a connection with people, the players, other fans, to close your eyes and remember the feel in the stands. We've lost jobs, lost lives, lost family and friends. So yeah, I'm not saying that football is where it ends, but a season like this reminds you of what sports can do. A year ago, we had none of y'all in our Stoop crew. So finally we got an answer to our season's first question. Who the hell are Leeds United? Our latest obsession. Love y'all. Peace from Brooklyn.
Here we go, Leeds United. We're gonna give the boys a hand.
Boys a hand.
Stand up and sing for Leeds United.
Yes, boys, I love that. You're trying to get
That was beautiful.
Here's to you guys. You guys made it happen. Hashtag Leeds Kit for Lolo. You guys sent in money, bought us kits.
Got a 78 right here.
Fuck, I got 2 of them.
Love that.
I'm shaking right now out of nervousness because it's not my club. I do not know all the history. I did not want to offend anybody, but I wanted to be true to what I had learned. So I'm going to shut up and have you guys tell me if you hated it, if you loved it, or whatever.
Oh my God, I thought it was great. I was beatboxing to it, man. Yeah. Look, we need to do that live in Leeds, like a Who, and just have me back there beatboxing, man, while you just get up there and do a spoken word. That was fabulous, man. Fucking fabulous.
I agree. That was fucking superb. Really, really good. As was the last one. You know what I mean? You smashed it last time. You even got Paddy and the boys involved on that. So
yeah.
It says it all, mate. You've killed it again. Superb, Lolo. Love it, man.
Yeah, you nailed it, mate. You've got to grips with all the ins and outs of being a Leeds fan. I think you've done a good job on him, James. I'm proud of you, mate. Well done.
The conversion process has been long and hard, my friend. It's been a long one.
I never want to hear the word Arsenal from you again, Lolo.
You know, I had to sneak it in somewhere on here, so I do have a little bit of Arsenal there. But I gotta say, like, I don't mind the look, you know.
It looks good on you.
My nipples are
good.
definitely got the nipple going on. My nipples like it, I guess, but I'm keeping those at a low level.
That's for the after happy hour show.
That's for the after party.
That was
Better than
fantastic.
the red, mate.
Yeah, much better than red. Yeah, so maybe I'll tell Arsenal to get some white kits. Maybe change
That'd be
these stripes.
ridiculous.
But listen, this is Mark. How does it feel to put on the white?
You know, I learned so much about this squad, and I probably watched this squad more than the team that I support this year. You know, I think I honestly believe I watched every Leeds match this season, even those that started at 7 o'clock my time.
Yeah,
Especially after a long happy hour when we didn't have a time limit on happy hour. And then we would go into
5-hour
like
ones.
5-hour happy hour and then get up at 6 o'clock in the morning just so we can get our druthers about ourselves. And not only that, but to then talk about the show afterwards. You know, it was just like it's amazing. You know, talk about the match afterwards at the show. You know, but I'm proud to put on the whites today. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite tops, man. It's a classic. All the Admiral tops are wonderful.
You know, when I saw the collar, I was thinking Brighton. You know, they're still rocking their little schoolboy look, but this is a nice feel. You know.
Well,
I think after all the
So, fellas, I could hear you tell me how awesome I am all day, but I'll wait and read it in the comments. We have some super special guests. Y'all are only okay guests. We have some super special guests coming up. But I want to ask you guys very quickly. He's like, why am I up late on this show? No, I want to ask you guys.
You have nothing better to do. Come on.
I want to ask you guys 3 questions, okay? Who is your player of the season? What is your moment of the season? And what is your moment of the season?
Who's going to go first?
They're all going to be the same, surely.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Well, what should we do? Should we all name like our?
Let's go with your player of the season.
Player of the season first.
Player of the
We
season.
could do our player of the season on 3.
1, 2, 3.
Stuart
Dallas.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
I think we could do our moment of the season too on 3.
Should we not? Should we not do a player of the season apart from Stuart Dallas because it's pretty?
Listen,
How
stupid is it that Stuart Dallas is your player of the season, right? How stupid.
Unbelievable.
Look back
Absolutely.
1 season, look back 2 seasons. You're
You go
talking
back
about
4,
loaning
mate.
him out to fucking hashtag United or something, playing in a
Yeah, I mean he's our Swiss Army knife. I mean I've always loved him. You know, I mean the guy can do everything. I mean I think he's scored 8 goals, and I think it was from 4 or 5 different positions. You know, I mean the guy's tremendous. I've always admired him, but man, yeah, he stepped up. I mean I didn't anticipate that. I don't think any of us did, but he's really proved himself to be, you know, quite a remarkable player. I mean it was an amazing performance by him all season long. I mean I can't remember him having an off match really. You know?
He's always had that grit and that determination and that drive to do well. It's just he seemed to like the quality sort of a few months after he came in. He fell out of favour in the squad. We didn't play him that often. And then he's just, under Bielsa, he's just learnt. I think they've really dug in, learnt the stuff, and all of them have improved. Every single player's improved.
To be honest with you, like Stuart Dallas, he always had his moments when he came in. He scored some good goals in his first season, and he showed glimpses. But for me, the moment where he really stood up and was the man that he's sort of shown himself to be now was the second leg against Derby when we missed out.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
He was unbelievable. He was the one player. I remember after that game, I had a few of my mates over to watch it, and at the end of the game, we pretty much didn't say anything, and they just left without even talking, and we all just knew, yeah, but we're all going to go home and go to bed. And the following day, it was almost like we all got in touch with how fucking good was Stewie Dallas last night, and we hope he can sort of carry that on. And ever since then, he's never looked back. He's just gone from strength to strength, and no matter where they play him, you're going to get an 8 out of 10 performance from him.
Well, because I think Bielsa.
Yeah,
sorry.
I think we're about to make the same point. Like, there's a massive difference between pre-Bielsa Stuart Dallas and post-Bielsa Stuart Dallas. I think
definitely
the same things happen with Calvin Phillips as well. Maybe even Luke Ayling, that core group of the squad, Liam Cooper, Patrick Bamford.
Yeah.
You could make the argument for all of them. He's improved the individual quality of the players. And Stuart Dallas, for me, was someone that at best was on the bench and was a utility man. And now I kind of see him as like our very own James Milner. Milner's not back now. He's a guaranteed 7.5 every week. No question.
It's true. Yeah, it's true.
Yo, but what I was going to say to piggyback on that idea is Bielsa, above any other manager coming in for Stuart Dallas, would be, because Stuart Dallas's main strength is not his ball handling, it's not his shooting, it's not his passing, it's not his ball, it's his work rate, and it's the fact that he will do anything if you tell him to. And so a manager like Bielsa who comes in and is going to demand that much, he would see that right away. Dallas is not the best footballer, but he's going to work his ass off, and I will put him in the position he needs to be so that effort can have the maximum payoff.
Yeah, I think I would
that's
add
exactly what's happened.
I think I would add a little something to that. I've only been watching Premier League or football for a very short time, but one of the things that I will say about Dallas is that he has a very, very strong awareness of what goes on around him. You might call it on a basketball court, you might call it court vision. In this case, pitch vision. Yeah. He sees everything all at once. He doesn't just focus on a very small area. He sees the entire pitch, and I think that's what makes him having the special season that he has had.
Especially when you're playing next to somebody like Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure you guys heard about that, where Calvin Phillips says the first time they met with Bielsa, and Bielsa came over and told everyone their position number, and he tells him 2, and he tells him 4. Sorry. 2. No, not hopefully not. He tells him 4, and he's like, no. I'm like a 8 or a 9. And he's like, nope. And now he's on England, like now he's one of the best in the world. So,
well, it says it all as well when Bielsa comes out and compares Stuart Dallas as the closest he's seen to Javier Zanetti. Wow. He's one of the greatest utility men.
Oh yeah,
utility. Yeah. That's a key word.
That's quite a compliment.
He was almost world class in any position he played in, and to compare him to that, and he worked with Zanetti for quite a long while. Yeah. The guy's not just plucking these comparisons out of nowhere. You know what I mean? He's seen it firsthand, and to compare the guy to that, it shows how far he has come.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So, guys, we've got one of our big guests. He's here waiting, and we're making him wait like a bunch of dicks. So tell me real quick, because I want to ask him, because as I already told you, his opinion is more important than all of you clowns. I'm just kidding, okay? Phil, relax, man. You're so serious down here in the bottom square. Yeah. Guys, so what was your moment of the season? Are we saying the nutmeg on Ederson? I mean, the Stuart Dallas goal.
Yeah,
probably.
That's mine. Okay.
Anybody different? All right, let's hear.
My one was the Liverpool game.
The first
one blew me out of the. Yeah, I knew we were going to do well, but man, I was shaking the whole game. I really thought we were going to come back and win it. Or when we didn't, I still didn't mind that much because we came in the first game, put it against the champions, and really put it to them.
Absolutely.
Really took it to the last minute. I mean, we only conceded via set pieces.
Yeah, that's a good choice.
And that was the match that we went. I remember Chris and I watched it out front. He's a Liverpool fan, and he's like, "Here we go, starting off the year. We're gonna destroy these guys." And the intensity. So on our follow-up show, our post-match show, we asked James about that. So we asked James about their intensity. So let's roll that footage. We have
so
that
my
clip.
big question watching that match is the intensity that y'all played with, the speed, the ferocity of the constant running and attacking the ball. Can you keep that up for 38 matches?
Exactly.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Plus,
And remember too that the Premiership season is shorter than the Championship season. So I think there's about an 8-game difference, something like that. So that I think that's going to benefit us. I mean, Bielsa demands just an incredible amount of fitness from his players, and I think that's going to show throughout the entire season. I mean, one thing like I told y'all, a week or so ago was that, look, I mean, we may lose a match here and there, but we're going to play till the end. We're not going to get outplayed, and it's going to be just one, attack after another. The other team's going to have to weather that, so it's going to be constant pressure.
James knows, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does, man.
Burnout was a myth, dude. I knew burnout was a myth when Bielsa was at Marseille. Yeah, that was a myth.
So fantastic, fellas. Well, listen, I don't want to keep our guests waiting too long. So do you guys want to stick around and meet this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like, I don't know who you're talking about, so sure. So first off, we have a very, very special guest. And if you're a Leeds United fan, I'm sure you know all about this guy. So he's the author of the book, You Are My Sunshine, following Leeds United home and away.
Oh, look at this.
89 to 92. Please welcome everybody, Mr. Phil Reeves.
Hi, how you doing?
What's up, Phil?
Hey, Phil.
Loving the chat, everybody.
Let's put Phil over here. There you go.
Anyway,
Hey, Phil. How
Cousin
are you,
Phil.
man?
it's late at night here, so I'm stayed up for you boys.
Oh yeah. So where you're in Leicester, right?
Hey, Leicester, yeah. In the Midlands.
Fantastic. So I want to ask you, Phil. Thank you so much for coming on the show, on our little show, because I feel like we've heard about you all season long, and people have talked about your book, and so we're very excited to talk to you. But I want to ask you, what was this season like for you?
A long time coming. So long in that lower league. So long. When Bielsa arrived, it was like a breath of fresh air. And that first game against Stoke at home, I was in the East Stand, up the tier, as far back as you could go. And it was just watching special football.
Yeah. So sorry, me and my director are fighting each other with positionings. Sorry, John. I'll stop.
I want to say something to Phil, though, real fast.
Yeah.
So what I love about these books, the one that Phil wrote, and these retrospectives, is they sort of capture a time that, is gone. I don't see football like returning. I don't see the terraces returning. I don't see any of that coming back anytime soon. And it's just a culture that is completely gone now from the sport. And like when Phil was at one of the first game, was the first game that I attended, was Wolves, and he talks about that match. And I remember when Tessa Sanderson was there, and he mentions that. I was like, who in the fuck is that? Because I never watched the Olympics. I had no idea who this person was. And I turned to a guy next to me. I was like, who in the fuck is Tessa Sanderson? I have no idea. And then come to find out, so Phil mentions in the book, she was probably a Wolverhampton supporter. And so I look her up on Wikipedia. Turns out that her nephew, Deion Sanderson, made his debut for Wolves in 2019. So yes, she was a dingle, Phil.
Oh,
you got that one right, mate.
Count her fingers. She's got too many.
But I love. It was a part of that match that I completely forgot until I read Phil's book. I was like, oh my god, I remember that now. Yeah, I was like, who in the fuck is Tessa Sanderson? Anyway, thank you, Phil.
Yeah, you're welcome. But last season was so special. I know COVID broke it all up. Oh my god, how special was it? You've probably not seen anyone seen the video of me and my lad in the back garden when we got promoted. When West Brom, Huddersfield.
Yeah, it was the Emil Smith Rowe goal, wasn't it?
Oh, we were absolutely mental. My lad, he's got a bottle of champagne off. It's just gone. He's got a pair of ski goggles on for some reason. On the anniversary of that game, I will retweet that. Unbelievable. It's been a long time. I mean, I've corrupted him. He's what is he now? 23. I've corrupted him. Couldn't work with my daughter. She's not interested in it.
The thing is, Phil, how amazing must it be for him? Because of his age group, he probably won't ever remember Leeds in the Premier League. He would have been too young.
Yeah, too young.
Yeah, you'd be the same. Yeah.
He's all League One. The first game I took him was Ipswich when we got relegated.
Wow.
I remember Dennis White running down the tunnel.
That's it, yeah.
He was. And then he was going every week with me after that. Earphone problems. He was going every week, every home game, and quite a lot of away games as well, because we used to travel up with various coaches down from Leeds and various coaches up from the Midlands, and we used to share transport. So he did a lot of games, a lot of away games, all the home games, apart from school nights, because Nats get to bed early.
He wasn't a ruffian like you, huh, Phil?
He was on the pitch, Bristol Ravens.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
As were quite a lot of us, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, the Ipswich game, she's messaging me, where are you? Where are you? I've seen you're all on the pitch. I hope you're not on the pitch with Josh. Bristol Rovers, I was sending the pictures of him in the goal. We're on the pitch this time.
So Phil, so I asked all these guys 3 questions about this season. So I want to ask you those 3 questions. So first of all, who was your who was your player of the season this season? Because I think man of the season would still go to Bielsa, probably.
Yeah.
So you're in agreement with us.
Without a doubt, Stuart Dallas. It was player of the season last year. It's player of the season this year as well.
And are you shocked by that?
No, I liked him before Bielsa turned up. He always put a shift in, but Bielsa just got an extra 20-30% out of him.
Nice.
As he did out of most players, to be fair.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay.
You know,
so what would be your moment of the season? Your best moment of the season?
Beating Leicester at home, down here.
Yes, because you're in Leicester, yeah.
Oh yes, the freedom of the city. There's so many bad stories for playing Leicester down here. You get to work when you've been beat by, because we're a bit of a bogey side, aren't we? You're so special to beat them.
Yeah, and you guys beat them well. I remember that was
no
3-1.
Yes,
like 3-1.
Yeah,
like that.
Patrick was on fire.
Pat scored a great goal, didn't he? With his left foot top bins.
I mean, we were 1-0 down as well. Let's not forget that.
That's right. Yeah, was it Harvey Barnes, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, and listen, that's the thing about Leeds United, which I've loved watching, is when you guys go down a goal, when you go down 2 goals, when you go down 6 goals, you don't play any. The only time I really saw a difference was the second half of the City match, where it's like, fuck, we're down to 10 men against City. Like, guys, we're gonna have to.
I don't think we had a choice, really.
Win it on a break, which is just fantastic, because then Bielsa's like, yeah, part of the plan. That was all part of the plan.
I still can't believe that happened.
No, that showed Bielsa. Everyone says we can't defend. That game showed we could defend.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about this can't defend, because you guys ended with a positive point goal differential. You ended with your keeper breaking the youngest keeper clean sheet record.
Yep.
Kiko Casilla even got a clean sheet. You mean to tell me that your defense is shit?
The thing with it, Lolo, is people jumped on that. what they failed to remember is the first sort of 15, 20 games, it was a makeshift defence. We'd signed 2 top quality defenders in Llorente and Koch, and Koch was carrying an injury up from the Liverpool game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he wasn't himself anyway, and Llorente was out injured as well.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got to understand, Cooper was injured at the start of the season. We started the season with an injured Robin Koch and Pascal Strike, and Strike had only ever played 5 games for Leeds, 3 of which are off the bench, and that was all in the
midfield.
And they was in midfield. Yeah,
and in midfield.
Centre halves that we have,
like 15, I think.
Unbelievable. But
we had to rope Alien into playing centre back.
I tell you, Pascal, after seeing him coming up, I think his first game was Cardiff at home.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh my God, we were 3-0 up, and you're thinking, who's this guy? He's awful.
He threw it away.
It was like a rabbit in headlights. But I tell you what, most improved player last season, Pascal Strike. And
I agree.
He could save us 30, 40 million quid.
The thing is, he's 21 years old now. You've got Holland and Belgium fighting over him because they can see this guy is going to be an absolute superstar. I'm now looking at our defence, and our 4 centre backs. You pick any pairing out of them, and I'm happy, really.
Even with Cooper, a lot of people have not got time for Cooper. Yeah. You put Cooper in there with playing with somebody else, it still looks good.
Yeah, he looked good against the Netherlands yesterday. So
yeah, he did, and he's such a leader, coach. He's a brilliant.
Now
captain.
listen,
back to an earlier point when we play, and you always get the commentators saying, "Oh, Leeds concede at set pieces. Leeds will burn out." You got fed up with hearing them say it.
So boring.
So boring. We never burnt out. Set pieces, fair enough, but since Christmas, we've been far different at the back.
We've only conceded 1 goal from a set piece in our last 12 games.
Well, that's because you guys were healthy. You guys got healthy, and you were able to defend them. Earlier on, you weren't healthy.
We had the best defense in the championship last season. Or 2 seasons ago.
Diego Llorente is a Premier League centre back. He is a Premier League centre back.
He's a top 6 Premier League centre back.
The places he found himself in, or not found himself, he put himself in, that maybe like, where is he going? And then all of a sudden he gets a key block that the ball doesn't even make it to Meslier. And you're like, oh, he just saw something way better than I did.
I love him.
Because I don't play football.
That's the thing with the injuries. Players came back, and when you started playing and you could see what they could do, you feel better at the back. And Meslier is such a good keeper. Unbelievable. 21 years old. I was saying to people at work 18 months ago, we've signed this lad from France and he's going to be special. And when he started playing, when Kiko got his ban, you could see it. Well, he played the Arsenal game, the cup, didn't he?
Yeah, I was at that, yeah.
Yeah, I was at that. And his distribution was unbelievable. He was pinging the ball out onto the wings to everybody. And you thought, if we struggle, he's going to do as well.
Yeah.
Well, at that game, Phil, I don't know if it was the same for you, but in the crowd at the Emirates, all the Leeds fans were sort of looking at each other every time he played the ball. It was like, fucking hell, what have we got here? This guy's his distribution was one of the best things I've ever seen.
To be fair, that's probably the best game he's distributed the ball.
It was pinpoint
the whole game.
Yeah. And now I just want to pinpoint a comment. We haven't mentioned many comments, but Samuel saying, watch the media talk about second season syndrome now.
Fucking Danny Mills today.
Daily Mail.
It's expected. You're going to be expected to have that. But the great thing is that you're going to be able to prove them all wrong.
That's right.
Well, if we want to go back to what about Meslier, one of the things that I will want to point out is, his talent is undeniable. I mean, he's a big kid. I mean, he's like, what, 6'6"? He's ginormous. Yeah. He's got great leg work. The thing that I want to point out is that he's learned from his mistakes. Earlier on in the season, we were giving him a great deal of stick on just, oh, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. But as the season went on, you could see, I don't want to say you could see him getting smarter, but you could see him just playing smarter. He was playing a lot smarter, and I'm looking forward to watching him play next year.
Yeah, early in the season, he was had too much of the continental goalkeeper in him. You know, he was too much punching of the ball, not enough like aggression, going up and grabbing the ball in there. I mean, there's two different styles, and in the UK, keepers are taught to catch the ball. You catch it, you're aggressive, and in the continent, you kind of you punch, you use your hands like that. Yeah, and then there was too much of that early on in the season. Then you saw him progress. You saw him evolve as a keeper. I mean, he was being aggressive. He was catching the ball when he would have before. He would have punched the ball out, and it was a much better. Yeah, he just improved drastically over the course of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do think the Sheffield United save was save of the season in the entire league.
Oh yeah,
He's got no right to stop
match?
that. The first, yeah,
It's
the first Sheffield United match, right? That you're talking
John
about.
Lundstrom's shot, where he was wrong-footed and he went down to his right-hand side.
Yeah.
Hey, believe it or not, guys, we actually have a clip from our post-match of that one. Now that you said a buzzword, usually it means we have to drink. Today it means we have a clip and you have to drink. Hey, I'm spilling on my new white kid. Now it's a
hey, way to break it in.
Now I can't send it back.
I have Guinness stains on.
Bragging rights for Yorkshire. Leeds, pride of Yorkshire. We stand by that. That's always been one of our mottos. And we are, Yorkshire proud and pride of Yorkshire. So this is good.
Good. Sorry, James, you were talking and I was already moving to click the button. So it cut to you talking. Guys, so listen, it's been a crazy season for everybody. Now listen, none of the teams have really played with fans that much. And I just want to remind you guys, as everyone keeps saying, this is a Leeds United channel. No, it's not. We cover,
yes, it is.
We are not a Leeds United channel. Matter of fact,
hold us for your shirts, boys.
It's a show full of Leeds fans.
It's a Leeds show.
You're just a show full of Leeds fans. A show full of Leeds fans. You're just a show full of Leeds fans.
There is genuinely more American people.
Lolo has the audience spoken.
The audience has
put this on. That
doesn't matter. My favorite post-match review this season was actually not a Leeds one. And before you guys all start talking and I'm not allowed to click on it, it was a Man United one. Roll it, John. Roll it.
Well, I guess Manchester's red.
That sucks.
Yeah, fuck this.
Peace.
That was our entire post-match review.
End up blue,
and see, last season we didn't have that kind of hatred towards Man United. We didn't like them.
It grows. Trust me.
But once James showed us that you can't even call them that, that they're called scum. Where I was like, I got it. I love it.
Yeah, on Leeds United New Orleans, I have a rule that they will never be referred to by anything else but the scum. You can't actually, and if you call them anything else, I'll kick you out of the off our site.
When I had my book
What?
When I had my book edited, they took the word scum out of it every time. So I had to rewrite it, and I'm going, well, the acknowledgement at the beginning says scum. I hate the way they call themselves United, but she kept sending it back and taking scum out of it. So I had to be clever and rewrite it. This book, those flow with the Pennines. It's unbelievable. It's because we're trying to get the book to a different audience, or we're not. It's only one audience. The book is only
not that audience. Yeah.
So
exactly one. Exactly one audience. I heard a story about there's this guy who paints houses. And he will not paint any house red. And if your house is red and you want it painted white, you get a discount. Have you guys heard of that guy?
I haven't. No.
Is he waiting in the background?
He's waiting in the background. Let's get him here. Let's bring him on, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Yes, Gary.
How's it going, Gary?
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, Gary. Leeds.
Gary, is that true? You will not paint anyone's house red?
No, nothing red.
So we've got a little bit of a dodgy connection, but Gary, I believe, is out like in Scotland, right?
He's up in the Highlands.
You're up in the Highlands where they've got that crank up internet right there like that. How's it going, Gary?
So
Great to have you on the show, man.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, good to be on. Yeah, can you hear me? Okay.
Of course.
Yeah. We've got a little bit of a lag, but I won't talk as much.
That's a result.
How you doing, Gary?
Okay.
How's
now
it
then,
going, Gary?
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So yeah, we our firm can't paint anything red for obvious reasons, and we also remove red free of charge.
Nice.
That's outstanding.
All right then.
That's outstanding. So Gary, you've been to every Leeds match for like 1,000,000 years or something like that. Was this
Since
the first
1968.
season? This was the first season that that you missed, then, right? How was that for
down
you?
here? Was better than I thought. Not very good, you know. But okay, you know, we got by. There's worse things, but yeah, 52 years, every game, home and away, all over the world, since 1968, and then this came along. So yeah.
Wow, that's certainly impressive. You know, my question is so you haven't missed a single Leeds match in all those years up until this past year. What have you missed as a result? Like, I mean, there's got to be like, you know, birthdays and anniversaries and all these things.
No.
He's like, nah.
Nothing important.
It's all meaningless anyway.
Gary's frozen.
He's frozen. He's off to a Leeds match.
Frozen Gary. You know, there's a great scene in Paint It White where they go, I think, to to Denmark or something, and they have to deal with violent. Like, I guess people hear that they're Leeds fans, Leeds supporters in this little village. There's this camping area, and then there's like a running battle with the motorcycle gang or something.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it was in ICAST in 81 in Denmark. Yeah, just a small town. Yeah, and Leeds were there for 2 weeks. And these Hells Angels came from 200 miles away.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
They wasn't impressed with us just having a laugh and, you know, going in the and yeah. they left.
Oh yeah. So we got people here saying that you need to put 50p in the internet meter. Is that a thing? Is that
it's
a thing?
Scotland for you. What can you do?
It's Scotland. How are we doing now?
Well, Gary, we really appreciate having you on here. And look, this season, this off season, I'd really like to do an actual interview with you and talk to you, like good cameras, edited and all that, and do a good long video with you, both you and Phil, by the way, now that you guys are there on top of each other, but actually sit down and talk with you guys.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be
Once
great.
I'm back home, we can do that.
Yeah, Gary, you're a legend as well, mate.
Back home, we can do that.
So
I
just want to say, so these guys are all contributors in the show and they're fans of the show. Do you guys want to say anything to Gary or Phil? Because I know you guys have told me that you've read their books and stuff like that. So, Terry.
Who, me?
Anyone
talking to me?
Guys, any of you guys?
I'll tell Gary what I told Phil, and that is, I love these books because they capture a moment in football history that I lived through, that I was there for, when I was living in Leeds, and it's gone now. You know, I mean, I don't know, like, when, you know, I don't see, like I said, I don't see the terrorists returning. I don't see in the foreseeable future. I don't see any of that happening. So, you know, I remember going to matches, to away matches. I mean, you know, you take the train in, you have you have old Bill waiting for you at the train station. You know, they're supposed to escort you to the ground. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you're on your own. And you know, you're harassed the whole time. It's violent. I mean, it was a strange time. You know, a lot of things were going on, and I think that their books capture it beautifully. And it's just yeah. And I love reading their books. I mean, because it helps me remember things. Like I was drunk for half the time. You know, I was pissed out of my brain for a lot of the matches. So I'm like, so with the whole Tessa Sanderson thing, I think I was probably, you know, I don't know, wasted at that moment. So I was like, all right, well, you know, I forgot all about that. So I'm happy when I read these books. I mean, it helps me kind of remember things. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Well,
I remember that now.
James,
It's
meeting
nice,
guys.
It's nice to appreciate the book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Gary both put a lot of effort into writing books. So.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful.
The second one's hard, though. The second one's even harder.
It's great for people.
That's what they all say.
People of my generation as well that weren't around during those amazing times under Reeve and live through all those experiences that you guys have.
Yeah.
For you guys to put that in black and white and put forward your sort of experiences and your emotions during those times, for us to read it and sort of live vicariously through that. We've all sort of heard it from my point of view, from the old man who was lived through the great times as a Leeds United fan, but it's lovely to sort of read it and hear it from other Leeds fans' point of view, to sort of experience that in a different way, if you know what I mean. So it's brilliant for people of a younger generation as well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
It's important that it's passed on. Yeah, yeah.
That's what being Leeds is, isn't it?
That's what being Leeds is. And we all have a different emphasis on a different story, a different game, and we all see different things at games.
Well, for example, the Tessa Sanderson thing.
Yeah, I wrote about Birmingham away 85, and so did Gary. We both had a different perspective on it, because we lived that day a different day. Very hostile day, but it's all part of being a Leeds fan.
Can 100%. I ask you too then? You guys go to all these matches and actually go to them, not only just watching them. So how do you watch any other Premier League matches? Like, do you watch any other teams?
They're like, James, nothing matters but Leeds.
Do you mean the team? Not another team, no.
Yeah.
This is the first time. This is the first season I've watched Match of the Day since 2004.
Wow.
Well,
that's my man right there. That is my man. Yep.
Lolo, before they go.
Not in it.
Well, that makes this clip make sense. So, John, roll that beautiful footage.
Here's a question: when you guys were in the desert that was the championship for 16 years, did you watch any Premier League games?
No. I didn't watch any of them. Fuck them. I didn't watch a single minute of a Premiership match. Swear to God.
I must admit, I'm with James this season. This season, I've struggled to watch other games.
No one care. I don't care about anything that doesn't involve Leeds.
All right. So in the last 15 years,
I fucking love you, James.
I love Leeds. I love Leeds.
How many times have you watched?
I love Leeds. Full stop.
What a lovely clip to bring out. That is our quintessential James Reeves right there.
I was well into my cups at that moment, yeah.
Oh, you're well on the last.
We cut out a lot of that.
You warned us that day.
We cut out a lot of that clip because it goes on from there. Same subject, just goes on a bit further. You'll have to look in the archives to get the full one. That was back in our 5-hour happy hour days. So that was fantastic. But now I see that that's a common sentiment of why the hell would you watch any other team?
Well, I don't know if you boys have had the same thing as me this week, watching England.
I didn't bother. I know I'm good. I'm still going to hate it.
After watching Bielsa and what he's done with this Leeds team, watching any other team is hard. But when you watch England and you think that you're supposed to support them, I find myself fucking cheering the other team on.
The Champions League final was boring compared to.
Mate, so
can you imagine us playing a Champions League final? We'd have won that game.
I think
neither of them wanted European Cup finals, thinking we're the best team out of all of them.
Yeah, 100%. Most entertaining team in the world.
Yeah,
well, and not people think the same.
We were getting pissed off with the Premier League putting Leeds on Friday night or Saturday morning, because then I'm like, now what do I have? I have Burnley, Everton, or something. What am I? What? I guess I'll take my daughter to the park, watch her kick a football around. That'll be much more entertaining.
It'll be more exciting.
Whatever the hell this is. Even my own club, Arsenal, that I support, was like. Then see, the back pass. I don't think Leeds United know how to back pass.
Why would you want to watch Arsenal? I know you support them. But I've got family that are Arsenal supporters who don't want to watch them.
You can tell if you ever go to their ground that none of the fans there want to watch them either, because all they do is sit in silence, sit on their hands. I don't think they even watch the
game, aren't they?
Stadium's too big for them.
They're just waiting for Arsenal fan TV to all have a shout up.
You have a stadium like that where 15,000 of the tickets are corporate gifts and shit like that. So you have a good chunk of the stands who aren't even watching football.
Yeah,
so
business trips.
That's why like a 38,000 stand.
I don't know about you guys. You went to the cup games for Arsenal. I've never seen so many backpacks outside after the game. That's just tourists. So many tourists went to the game. And it's
backpacks and cameras.
Me and my lads walk back to the tube station. Like, I've never seen so many backpacks at a game. and they just won. They just won, and it was only the Leeds fans that were making any noise walking back to the tube station.
We cheered more for a tackle in that game than they did when they scored.
We generally do, though, don't we? We have got the most passionate fans, I think, in the country.
Oh God, yeah,
for sure.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see a full stadium next season.
That's going to be amazing.
And God willing, we see it in person.
I want you boys over to experience it, because I guarantee you, them shirts you're wearing will be staying on your backs once you experience that.
Fantastic.
Well, they'll be twirling them round.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You know, the good thing about the white and being, New Orleans is you usually do the tissue and you usually do a second line dance like this. So the white shirt works very well as it bam, 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 yeah, man. I don't know. We'll see. And Mr. Tom or somebody said, don't forget, guys, you guys hating on red. Leeds United used to wear red for their away.
They're fucking Juve in
11 times.
Juve in red.
You don't talk about that.
I don't know. Somebody put it in the comments.
They wore all red 11 times.
Wow.
And they wore orange once.
11 times, yeah. Sometimes red top, sometimes red shirts. But Leeds, I did research into it, and 11 times in the history they played in all red. Under Don Revie, interestingly.
Yeah. You had an opportunity then to say that you painted over the shirts, and that's why we are white now. Take credit where it's due. I heard it was you, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, Don Revie was like, I really like those Madrid guys. Will you paint them?
Try catching Pauline in a red shirt.
Absolutely
that's
lovely.
Fantastic. You guys are working on new books, or is that, did I hear correctly? Somebody was telling me there may be.
I'm doing one as well.
Well, fantastic, guys. Whenever they come out or before, if there's ever any time that you would like to talk to us,
can I
let us know.
I'll run my title of my second book out and see what you think. My wife says I can't have it. My second book is In Off the Bar, Fuck Cantona. Now, is that too much?
No,
Is that too
it's not
much?
enough. It's not enough.
Listen,
It's brilliant.
Phil,
Thanks.
Are we gonna get a You Are Still My Sunshine, a sequel?
No, it's the
follow-up.
bar.
Yeah, well, Lolo may know this, but you know that Phil, "You Are My Sunshine," the song was written by Jimmy Davis, the governor of Louisiana.
Yeah.
So there you go. Great.
The publishers about the lyrics, and they were saying, "Well, how does it differ from the original?" So I had to sing them the song over the phone. Like, this is how it's different to the original, and they're going, "Yeah, there's enough difference there to put it in."
Brilliant.
Well, listen, your title for your second book 10 years ago, 15, 20, 30 years ago wouldn't be good.
I'm going to change. I'm going to put stars in for one word. To be fair, I'm not going to put the.
So you should put the stars in Cantona. It should be fuck, and then like stars in some of the name. Exactly. Yeah. So we know that you're not trying to offend anybody.
No.
But fuck them.
Take out the A in Cantona.
I love that.
Just take out the first A and put an asterisk there.
I have to get publishers first. I don't think they'll put me out. So
they wouldn't do scum. Hey, we'll publish it. 28 people will see it, and they'll all buy it.
That's probably my book sales anyway.
Mate, James is buying 28 copies on his own.
Oh, hell yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. Hey, when I see a Leeds book come out, man, I'm there. I have a whole shelf full of them. Absolutely. Where did Gary go? I think Gary's working on his 7th book.
He's gone off to write a few more.
Right.
A few more lines. I gave him some ideas. Yeah, there you go.
That's some effort to write that amount of books, isn't it? Fucking hell.
It is. It takes a lot of time. It's especially when you're working as well. You're trying to get it sorted out.
I struggle to write an email. Fucking hell, I couldn't write a book.
No. Dude, yeah, you're talking about your second book. The second poem I wrote was like fucking killed me. Nearly killed me.
Yeah, he reaches out to me. He's like, I don't know if I should scrap it or if I should keep it going. I'm like, keep it going, man. They love you.
No, what I said was, I don't know if I'm finished or if I'm just gonna fucking trash the whole thing. Like, I'm either finished and it's great, or I need to start all over. Listen, Justin just asked, have you got room for another Leeds fan in the call? We definitely do, and we were meaning to, in the second hour, which we're already in, send out a link and we can get some talking with
Here comes Gary. Gary's back.
Yeah, there he is.
So Gary, tell us about your 7th book that you're writing.
It's centered around the 63-64 season.
Excellent.
Going back 5 years either way.
Oh, brilliant.
Very important season. Very important season.
Exactly.
The most important promotion in Leeds history, actually, I think. And a lot to be said.
Collins.
Yep. There goes Gary again.
Still a little spotty, Gary.
I know. Damned internet in Scotland.
He needs to drop another 50p. But I tell you guys, we got 122 people watching, and we really appreciate that. But for some reason, we only got 72 likes. So let's smash some likes. Show us that you're out there, even though we don't have the badges and all the things that we normally have. But we'd really appreciate the smashes for our last Premier League show until September.
Yeah, and as you guys see pinned in the top message, I know the super chats aren't active right now, but if you do feel so inclined to chip in for the hashtag Leeds Kit for Lolo, or you just want to buy us a beer or something, this is your last chance of the season to buy us a beer. As that cheeky bastard. That link is up there. It's a PayPal link, and so everybody should have it. But thank you very much for all of that. We do see. I did get some messages that there have been some donations, which is I hate saying donations because you're not like donating to a cause.
No, man, the support. We really love it. We really need it. And to get us through the lean months of the summer.
I know that it's very late for all you guys. I really appreciate everybody who's called in. So if anybody feels like stepping away, feel free. We do have people waiting in the wings, so you're not leaving us high and dry if you do feel like leaving. If not, I'm about to add some more people. So
bring them in. Come on, Paddy Bamford, bring him in.
Hey, that was a chance.
That would be fantastic. Now that's Lord Bamford. Now, if you've been watching our show,
officially
it is Lord Bamford.
I'm not talking about that dude. He doesn't respond to any of my tweets, any of my DMs. I'm like, you up? Nothing. I get 3 dots. So I'm like, he's reading it. I know he's reading it. And then they go away. And I'm like,
you, Lolo, mate. You had your 5 minutes.
That's
it.
Brilliant, man.
Stalking Patty.
What you think?
John's still waiting for Emma to get back to him.
No, man. That's what somebody was like, oh, your new poem, that'll get you on LUTV again. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna go.
Nah.
I don't know if I'm gonna go.
We've done that already.
You're not the ones who was talking about.
They were kind of not awesome about everything. They were awesome then, and then like ignore everything afterwards. And I'm like, even the day of, where I'm like,
now you're in whites. Maybe it might change.
No, I'm sorry. You want
my litter at all, is he, guys?
What was that?
Feel. I had heard the year of Angus Kinnear, but I've lost it. He's disappeared. He's read my book. He's gave it to his dad, and now I've forgotten.
Yeah.
And they won't even put my book in the bloody club shop.
Really?
Terrible.
Wow.
But he's read it as well. But he's a Luton fan, so.
Yeah, he is. Isn't he?
Oh God.
He is, yeah.
Oh, God.
What a shithole Luton is as well.
I remember when what was the 84-85 season when Millwall rioted there. I remember seeing the clips of Millwall fans just running riot through Luton and all that. It was great. Fucking Mill scum, man.
So guys, I'm gonna bring in somebody. You guys are we have Scotland, we have Leicester, we have London, we have Leeds, we have New Orleans, we have wherever the hell Mark is. We have Brooklyn. Let's bring it to the other coast, the West Coast, and bring in Mr. Bob.
Bring in Bob.
He's in California.
West Coast.
What's up,
Bob? Leeds.
Hey. Like your shirt, Mark. I love your shirt. Got the 78 on, mate. Love it. Love it.
Yeah, I got it right
He's
here.
got his somewhere, but
fantastic.
It's going to be sooner or later that we're gonna pull out the whites for you.
Yeah.
So guys, I know Bob gets tired of me saying this, but he runs an arcade. How cool is that?
Get the power back on.
No, it's still off.
Oh, fuck, man.
That's what they said. They're like, Bob, you shouldn't be here fixing shit. You got to get home and watch that show.
Yeah, man, your show just started. I was like looking forward to it. I had the reminder set and everything. I think I came in 18 hours early and went 18 hours to go.
I saw that.
The show started. Everything went off. I was like, fuck, Lolo broke the internet, man.
I hadn't even done the poem yet.
I fucking love that.
Yeah, man.
Did you see the poem?
I did, mate. Yeah, it was fantastic. I love that shirt on you, by the way. You should fully come over to the white side now.
It's good. I can't show you the bottom half because it doesn't really fit.
He has
a crop top right now.
It's a mini skirt.
Yeah, I think the first time I was on
the belly is all right here below camera.
I tried to warn you, man. I think the first time I was on, I said I can't wear those shirts because of my man boobs, man. I'm not on the Luke Hilling diet, so I stick with it.
I would show you guys the full thing, but that's
I'm wearing a mini kilt.
What is it called? OnlyFans?
Lolo, you need someone to send you one of the Kappa shirts, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, God, they're tight.
Yeah.
They're very tight.
Doesn't put your blood off.
They're not made for men, then.
No, you need 3 sizes too big, and even then it's like, fucking
it's
hell.
Too much,
Who ordered this shirt?
Yeah.
It was a Kappa shirt, and you got it. It's like a tent.
That's the
I've done the same with this year's one as well.
Yeah.
Here, if you buy an NFL jersey for a fan, they the one like an NFL jersey is made to have a shit ton of pads underneath.
Yeah, it's like a tent.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I'm short. If I buy a small or extra small, it's down to my knees. And
Really?
like the arms, I can't even get the part of it on the screen. Like I look like a child wearing an NFL jersey.
They do a fans version that's not for fucking pads. What they expect the crowd to all be
you're a
padded
woman,
up?
sure, yeah. If you're a woman, sure, they'll make it all so it's fitted and tight and you look nice because
Hockey shirts are the same, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
What?
Yeah,
Our
huge,
shirts are the same.
Arsenal
lad's just
shirts are the
got,
same. They're really great
got a
for my
brewing
bosom.
shirt. Huge.
Phil, everyone's saying how unusually quiet you are. I know you're a lot bigger of a talker. Phil from all Leeds.
Mate, I'm listening.
Phil from Leeds.
I'm enjoying.
He's just a spectator at this point. He's just like, no, this is how it's done.
Chewing the fat with Oscar, isn't he? That's why.
Mate, I'm missing my partner out. That's the thing.
Yeah,
he's tired you out, mate. Getting you doing the player ratings. That's why.
Oh, mate, it's just fucking arguing with him all the time. I give out a 0.5 and he starts bitching about it, and I'm just like, look, accept what is going on and be okay with it, and he just can't, and it's sad, but we'll get there. This time, we've got a stomach to hold. No,
like a married couple, isn't it?
I'm enjoying listening to the stories of good old days. My mum and I didn't get brought up with my dad taking me to football. It was my mum and my grandma that took me.
Yeah.
So my grandma was a season ticket holder for 28 years before I started going with her. And I've heard all these stories, but it's interesting hearing them from a male perspective. Weirdly enough, I've only ever heard it from a female.
Yeah. No, I'm in the same
That's really
position.
unusual, mate.
No, I'm in the same position as you, mate. My dad was a rugby fan, and it was my mum that went to the Leeds games all through the 60s and 70s, and she got me into Leeds back in the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my dad couldn't give a shit about football at all.
No, I've been to
Enough.
one game with my dad, and it was on New Year's Day, and that's only because my mum couldn't be asked going, and I think it took me out of pity. So, and it was a 0-0 draw against QPR, and he never took me back.
Yeah.
That's one way of getting to go, isn't it? Okay, now.
Yeah,
No.
when we're over next year for a match, we'll all meet up at the Peacock, man,
Oh, there you
Yeah,
go.
man, definitely.
and have a couple of pints and get a little crazy, and I'll bring in some of my other mates who are over there who are longtime Leeds supporters. They're an edgy group, my friends.
Gary will sign you up at the Peacock.
Yeah. I'll bring my. Well, I told Gary that I had trouble finding like all of his books here in the States, so I had a mate of mine send me Paint It White, which he wants me to send it back, but I've had it now for like 5 years or 6 years, so I'm not going to send it back. It's now on my shelf to stay. But yeah, I mean, I can't. It's difficult to find his books over here.
Wow. Well,
It's still
fellas,
doing well, luckily.
What's that?
say that again, Gary.
Paint It White's still selling okay. To say it's an old book now, yeah.
It's a great
Yeah,
book.
yeah.
It's a good book, though.
Yeah, no, it's a great book. It's a classic, you know.
Yeah,
It's a classic. So
Okay, this guy says
Good, thank you.
first pint at the Peacock in '82, age 9.
Good Lord. Classic Leeds.
Well, listen, guys, you Stoop Crew fam, you guys were so successful with hashtag Leeds Kit for Lolo. The next one that we need a little help with is getting the entire On the Stoop gang, because we're not on the Stoop
Looking
Crew
at you
anymore.
all.
They're the Stoop Crew. Getting us to Leeds to watch a match. We've already got somebody who is getting us tickets to to any match whenever we get there. We've got somebody who's already getting us hotel rooms. We do have a bunch of other people saying you can crash with us. I don't know you, but sure.
it'll be
I'll
fun.
provide some beer,
Yeah.
boys, as well.
Not sure if we're going to stay with Axe Murderer 29.
It depends. Does he have Wi-Fi? You know, like,
does he have Wi-Fi?
does he have steps in front of his house we could sit at?
Right. If you have a stoop, we're there.
Yeah. See, there you go. I can put people up in Scarborough.
You've got to do a show from the steps in front of Bremner statue.
Oh man, this is already in the works.
We are definitely
it's going to take us a long time to get there because our American crew runs deep and we can't leave anybody behind. We got to bring James. We've got to bring Naji.
We got to bring Naji.
We got to bring.
No, I was going to burn Naji in effigy. No Chelsea supporters at Ellen Road.
The equipment.
Naji won't have a good time.
No, he won't like it.
You're gonna bring Naji along as a Sherpa?
I think Naji is going to have a great time no matter what because he's just going to be like, it's just so great to be here.
He likes to argue.
So
he knows his facts.
He's just like, I love you. You can shit on me all you want, but I just love you guys.
Gary, I'm not going to vouch for this guy's safety, mate. So it's
Naji's not going to
That's fine.
I ain't looking after him.
You remember?
No, I'm not either.
San Francisco, yeah.
What's that?
Leeds must be in San Francisco somewhere.
No, I'm not in San Francisco. I'm down near Los Angeles, down towards Los Angeles area.
Yeah, Bob, where do you watch the matches normally?
Usually in front of my TV. Knowing my neighbours. Just I've been down to what was it, the John Bull or whatever, a couple of times down there, and a couple of Pasadena pubs and whatnot. But normally I'm just at home because I'm normally out to work straight afterwards.
Yeah, because I used to live out there, and I remember it's so spread out that finding people to watch matches with is a problem. So it's like everybody watches them in their own little parts of town.
Yeah, exactly.
So you'll get a group, like I lived in Hermosa Beach, and so you'll get a group down in Hermosa Beach maybe who watch. I mean, I used to go. There was a place called the Cock and Bull in Venice.
That's the one I've been to. Yeah.
Yeah. And I used to watch them there, but the bartender was a Chelsea supporter, so it was like, you fucking cunt. And that was. So it was. There were always problems whenever I'd walk in the door. You go, oh, here comes the Leeds bastards. I was like, all right, well, yeah.
You know, it's interesting because I think me and you have had like the exact opposite experiences. You know, you went to England and started watching Leeds. I grew up with Leeds and came over here, lived in the desert with no football going on because, like, obviously there was no Leeds on TV over here. So I was literally having my mate pre-internet, like, put the telephone down next to Radio Leeds and listen to the telephone, listen to it that way. You know what I mean? It was fucking crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? I had mates of mine who were in a service crew chat room back in like the early 90s.
Yeah.
And that's how I would get news about Leeds because I was back in the States. I had no idea what was going on. And so I'd go into these service crew chat rooms where they were talking about rucks and beating the fuck out of people. And, and I was like, okay. I was like, what happened in the match this past week, you know?
Yeah, that was about it. Yeah, it was very, very barren out here for a lot of years, you know what I mean? And obviously until like, I think it was still like, was it Setanta Sport or something like that picked up?
Yeah, Setanta, yeah.
Yeah, then we started getting like really shitty coverage, but at least it was coverage, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
Setanta, if you remember it.
What was that?
There's always the option of club call for like 28 pence a minute.
28p a minute, yeah. It was expensive. Yeah, I ran up my phone bill pretty high at that point.
Oh, I did, yeah. I went
to fly over to the games.
I in my book in the Scum game when we snowed off. Me and my mate were in a pub in the middle of bloody nowhere, pouring money into the phone, listening to the Scum game when Sterling scored, and we're jumping around this pub, and people looking at us gone out, you know. We spent a fortune.
Yeah, absolute fortune, man. I mean, it would have been better off just watching it on teletext, and just where it used to just flash up and score every now and again.
I love that.
It's been the same response from us when we've seen Sterling and scored to it there.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Ben Ireland just signed off. He's one of our Stoop crews. We just want to say goodnight to him. We love you, Ben. Thank you for everything you do for us. Leeds.
And thank you for all the shouts on the poem. Just so you guys know, the poem is now live. I mean, it's up on YouTube. It's on its own page. You guys can check it out there and you can share it. So actually, maybe I should, not that I want you guys to leave this, leave the chat, but open it up in a new tab if you want and go ahead and share it on your Twitter and all that. Here it is. Boom. It's in the comments. So if you guys enjoyed the poem, if you like it, don't like it, comment, share, and all that, and let people know about it. It's a great listen, it commemorates your season of and shows some love from some dude who didn't even know anything about you guys a year ago. And I hope you guys appreciate it. Phil and Gary, did you happen to catch the poem?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I've just added you on Twitter, so I shall have a look.
Awesome.
I'll share it, retweet it.
Awesome.
We lost Gary again.
Yeah, he's going to fade in and out.
That's something for you. It's not good up there.
Much like a good Scotsman, going to fade in and out all night.
Yeah.
Gary's from Quebec.
Okay. He sounded like he was Scottish, but I don't know. Shows you what I fucking know.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Gary,
you know,
Gary's from right outside of Leeds.
We asked a couple of things. We asked about who's the top Leeds player, what was the moment of the year, but what was the worst moment for you Leeds?
I was really
fans?
relieved that you didn't get around to asking that question.
All right, so let's roll tape backwards, and we won't ask that question. But I'm kind of curious.
Are we going to do it all
It's
for free?
got McTominay's brace.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about the oh fuck moment?
No,
we're not.
We're not.
No.
We're going to keep it on a high note.
No.
What about Arsenal?
Do you know the one thing I actually am a bit sad about, other than the whole game itself, is the fact that Stuart Dallas's goal gets lost because of a fucking goal he scored in
That was a great goal.
I'll be back.
No, do your thing.
No worries. For a Leeds player to score that goal at Old Trafford is unbelievable. And because it was such a shit result, people forget it. And for Coops as well, as a Leeds boy, Leeds captain, to score at Old Trafford as well is massive. But it sort of gets lost amongst that shit result, doesn't it? But
yeah.
I just want to say this is the first, Jonathan. Buenos tardes from Guadalajara, Mexico. This is the first time I've seen a Mexican fan here, and but yeah, my family's from Chihuahua. Not exactly, same place, but anyway.
Where the dogs are from.
Yes.
Name that. Yes, based on it's a massive state and a desert.
Wow, man. Wow.
That's why I always wear my El Paso Chihuahuas hat. If you guys don't notice that one.
Because he wants to know
it's
that
either my Leeds hat or my Chihuahua hat.
He's racing Chihuahuas in El Paso.
Fucking racist, man. I had one mention of Mexico, and now it's all fucking little dogs.
Man, I've maintained, and I've been quoted on this show a couple of times saying that Mexicans are fucking tougher than shit.
Fierce.
Fierce, man. And let's hope that Jimenez comes back next season. Fierce.
Yeah. So Jonathan and Richie Sinclair have a lead supporter group down in Mexico called Mexico Whites. So they'd have a couple of Leeds guys like out in the Yucatan, near Cancun and all. So they're doing that out there. But so Jonathan's a part of that.
Yeah.
Nice.
See, I was told the first time I went to Juarez, they're like, to make sure you don't get Montezuma's revenge, you make sure you get the Mexican Whites.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's how.
Unfortunately, Montezuma's is an inevitable consequence of visiting Mexico. I've learned that a few times.
Not when you're on the Mexican Whites because you don't eat.
That's yeah. Or maybe they just have like fish and chips or something.
So listen, I just want to say, guys, we've hit the 90-minute mark on the show. It's been fantastic talking to everybody. We're not going anywhere. We got at least another half hour. I just want to say that to all the Stoop crew who are actually Patreon members, I sent the link to the Patreon members. So you actually, you chose not to get emojis. Well, you get the actual link to call into the show, and you can talk with any of these guys if you like. So a good thing we didn't cancel Patreon because that one actually works for some reason. But yeah, whoa. He says your Leeds tribute is getting some right hits on Twitter. Leeds Stats just retweeted it. Awesome.
Nice.
Hopefully, we'll see how it does. I'm still telling you, if LUTV calls, I'll be like, last time you said you were poem in Spanish to Bielsa himself. Now, I know Bielsa's busy and he's a little one-track minded, but listen, there's been no football for a week, so...
Yeah, Bielsa's still watching videos, though.
Yeah, Bielsa's still watching fucking videos.
Hey, he's been watching you for the last hour and a half, trust me.
Exactly.
Let's be honest, Bielsa's not doing a goddamn thing. He's just relaxing, taking
Not a
week
chance.
off.
Not a chance, mate.
When people were saying, "Look, you're gonna get invited to Ellen Road and you're gonna talk to Bielsa," and I'm like, that would be awesome. But except that Bielsa will have a binder on me, and he will tell me about how I fucked something up in second grade, and that's why I am who I am. You know why you're fat is because in second grade you said yes to the peanut butter and jelly instead of the salad.
Oh, I don't know, man.
He'll tell you,
tips on the
You're so
poetry,
right.
though.
You're so right. You're so
he'll tell
right.
you can be a central defender as well instead of a striker or something like that. You're gonna have to believe him.
And he'd be like, the problem is you're not the star of the show. Mark is the star of the show. We're gonna play you in a back role. You
Yeah,
can
right.
direct. John
if
needs to be
only.
up front.
If only. So I just want to let Paul H know we've had a bit of an interruption on our membership for YouTube. Not really sure what happened. Unfortunately, it happened on a really poor occasion. This being our lead show, we're going to get it back as soon as we can. Yeah, let's hope for the best, because this was it kind of sucks for us to not see all those badges and all that support and all the emojis that we see when we normally do our shows, because that keeps us going. That makes us know that we're doing something right. But as soon as we can get it figured out, we'll give a couple of fingers to YouTube and tell them to fuck off.
Yeah,
well, that's when you know you're a lead show, man. As YouTube's after you now.
They start.
Hey, you know what? We'll take it.
It's probably my fault, man. It's probably my fault. I mean, they probably heard about me getting kicked off Facebook like 10 times, and now it's
one of the first
following me
times,
over here.
One of the first times we were demonetized was because we played one verse of Marching On Together.
Right.
And they're like, the dude who owns that song claimed a copyright infringement. I'm like, are you who? What?
Amazing.
And so that video got pulled.
Yeah, and then wasn't there another one too where we played too much of a show during happy hour?
We showed a preview.
We showed a clip of something.
A clip of a preview.
And it got a little too blue. I don't know, But
no, they were like, that's our show. Stars has feelers out. And I'm like, you really, like 20 people watched that video. You really need to. Okay, fine. Listen, I just want to present to you guys a whole bunch of Leeds fans on here, and Mark. There's
Leeds fans and Mark.
Leeds fans
to me, mate.
Leeds fans and the dingle.
There's a couple people here saying Rafinha to Liverpool. Now, before you blow up, I just want to say that I saw the best answer to that on Twitter today, and I forget who did it, but it said Liverpool have submitted a bid for 32 million. This is all nonsense. Have submitted a bid for 32 million, whatever units of money you use for Rafinha. And the answer, the guy said, we wouldn't trade to a competitive rival. What did he say? I can't remember. But saying why would he make a lateral move? I think is what he said. And I was like, that's a Leeds fan right there going.
Yeah, I don't think the Dippers could collect enough trash and garbage to pay for Rafinha.
Right. Yeah, you guys signed Rafinha for what, 17 million?
Yeah.
You guys are currently being offered 35. So doubling your money is still an excellent start, but it is not nearly enough. Rafinha is easily worth what he has done this season. He's easily worth 70.
Yeah.
Easily
They'd
worth
have
70.
to double that.
If you were to be offered 70, you might listen to it, but you would piss a lot of people off if you were like, "Yeah, we're listening to it."
Thing is, we don't need to
say he doesn't want to go. It's as simple as that. He doesn't want to go. He wants to stay.
He likes his fish and chips.
Yeah, he wanted to play for Bielsa, and he's got Bielsa coaching him now.
Yeah, as long as Bielsa's at Leeds, he's staying.
Yeah, no, Phil's right though. We don't need to sell. We don't need to sell.
We don't need to.
We don't need to sell him. Why would he want to go to Liverpool to play second fiddle to Salah and Mane?
Well, Mane's gonna fucking dip out.
I don't think he will.
Mane and Salah will not be, or Salah will not be with Liverpool by next season. That's my prediction. I don't think either of them happy, and their season has shown it. They didn't do fuck all.
Mane's a different player when the fans are back in, though.
Yeah, true.
But they ain't getting Rafinha. There's no. I'm not even remotely worried.
Not for 35.
No, me neither.
No.
Unless he wants
to
go, then we're not going to stop it. But it's going to be more than 30.
I do think long term,
he thought he was a £50 million player when he was at Rennes, and he's proved himself in the Premier League now. So the price is 60 plus, isn't it?
That's what I say.
He was actually offended by the price that Rennes were willing to listen to.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, the Rennes fans went mental as well, and now we can all see why. At the time, we were just like, and they went crazy.
Signed him for more, didn't they? They got him for
pissed.
18 million,
Yeah,
and then we bought him for a little cheaper.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw there was an interview with Tyler Roberts this morning, and he was saying about how Rafinha is one of the hardest working people in the whole team.
Yeah.
And every time they're doing a shooting practice, if everyone else is messing around, he's having a go at people going, look, you focus. And if he misses a shot, he gets angry at himself for the lack of technique, lack of finishing, lack of anything. And that is exactly what we need. So to us, 70 million, I mean, he's worth so much more than that.
Sure,
I mean,
What
he's
you might
invaluable.
notice during the games, he's a moody bastard as well. I
He
love
is
that.
great. He is fantastic. Yeah.
Love it.
He wants to score. Every single fucking shot should be going in top corner. Every cross should be like on someone's head going in the back of the net. And if it doesn't, he's fuming.
Yeah.
I love that about him. And
That's the kind
That's
of
what he
player
expects for himself. Yeah.
That's right. And that's what the kind of player Leeds wants. And that's what you need, someone who's going to buy into it and buy into Bielsa. And all the players we bought last season bought into Bielsa. And it's going to be the same next season. If we get players that buy into it, we're going to be a far better side than we were last year.
Well, it says it all that he's left a team that was just qualified for the Champions League, where he was going to be their star, and he's left them for a newly promoted club because he's bought completely into Bielsa's vision and the club's vision. And you've got to take your hat off to Victor Orta, because the guy is fucking magnificent. What a job he has done. He got a lot of stick when he first come in for some of the transfer deals he done, the likes of J. Roy Grott and people like that, and Sibicki and it was like, don't know about him. He's not.
We've got to reserve on the John Kevin Augustine one, because there's a judgment coming this week, isn't there?
We get the final decision, didn't we?
Yeah. I mean,
21 million euro.
Now,
they let him go on a free transfer, so I don't understand how they can want money off us. But
I think we'll be in the clear there. I think we're too well run to be. To lose out there. I think we're a very well run club now, which is the first time I think I've ever been able to say that.
Yeah,
but
exactly. And
I'm confident.
Here's the key difference, especially when I was writing the poem. There's so much this season that I just couldn't even touch on. I didn't even touch on the ESL, and part of what has given me so much love for y'all's club. Exactly. We've forgotten about this fucking major issue. And the reason my heart was broken by my club so much was because there's not a top to bottom identity. There's not an identity up top that translates on the pitch. And that's true of all the big six clubs, all the six clubs who signed up. And that is the major difference. So now let's forget about even ESL. Let's just look at the promoted clubs. 3 promoted clubs. Who has the best identity from ownership to manager of football, or whatever you call it, director of football, to scouting, to first team, to second team, to under 23s, to the under 3s that we always say Lil Bastard plays for. Lil Bastard on the under 23s who's going to kill it. But y'all, I said it halfway through the season, y'all are setting yourself up for a decades-long run, at least. In the top flight, probably in Europe.
I agree.
With maybe some championships, maybe some trophies peppered in there along the way. You're not like, that's why I think Bielsa was perfectly fine with not getting to the Premier League his first season. Not that that's what he wanted. I'm just saying the same way he's like, in the end, did he want to get into Europe? Of course. But he's also like, if we don't get into Europe this season, we'll be better next season. Because if you do get into Europe, you'll be split in half. Once again, look at that guy way over there, Wolves. They fucking killed it. They got into Europe their first season. They basically destroyed themselves to try and stay that way, and they got into 7th again the second season. But your team just loses that. But right now, you guys are so. I watched that interview with Victor Orta.
Oh, I love the man.
What is it like to have somebody like that in charge, or even close to in charge?
Victor Orta. I don't know if you've got. Have you Leeds fans back home? Do you know little Mick Hewitt, who's been to every ground this season? He's broke so many laws that he went to. Which ground did he go to? Southampton, and he was on the train back, with the Leeds team, and he was on the carriage with Victor Orta, and there's Victor Orta with a big pair of binoculars with little Mick Hewitt. Unbelievable! The guy is mental,
He's
and
mental,
he's so Leeds.
Yeah,
he's
they were saying
mate.
It's okay that you can't have 38,000 as long as you can have one Victor Orta.
Victor Orta, that's right.
And they had managers complaining about him.
I've been attacked.
Phil's
I've been attacked by shirts.
The thing with Victor Orta is like you said in that interview.
Hold on, Terry. You can finish that. Yeah. I just want to let you know I'm going for another beer. I can still hear you guys, so don't.
Well, do you remember? You lads remember when Bamford was having that interview and you could hear Orta in the corridor just shouting, "We are fucking brilliant."
We're Leeds United. We're top of the league. Yeah, he was singing it, wasn't he?
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Before we played Liverpool, there was an email. I don't know if it was true. Angus Kinnear sent to all employees: "Don't park your cars near the ground because Victor Orta's going to be singing, 'We've got Don Matteo, you've got our car stereos. So don't leave your car in the car park because Liverpool will have them.'"
Orta's completely bought into everything that we stand for. And
he has, yeah.
Like he said in that interview, he sort of come through at Sevilla, and their fans are pretty mental by all accounts. Yeah. And he loves everything about that. He's got that sort of ultras vibe about him. And when he came to England, he felt a void in his life within football because he was at Middlesbrough, and that just doesn't exist. Exactly.
And then, who wants to be at Middlesbrough?
The smoggiest.
That's the thing. And he said the only time he ever experienced it was when Leeds played Middlesbrough, and he was like, "Fucking hell, we were shit at the time."
That's right.
And he saw our fans and was like, "How are these like this good and this mental when this team is so shit?" So when even Bravo,
when Bamford scored that trick against us,
when Bravo gave him the opportunity, he just rang him, didn't he, and was like, "I'm just going to say 2 words to you, and you let me know." And he said Leeds United, and he was like, "I'm in," and I love it. And the thing is, I think we're going to follow sort of the setup that Wolves and Leicester have done in previous years. But the difference is we've got that base of being historically a fucking massive club. And
fan base.
And where Wolves are sort of gonna, to be fair, in the next couple of years, it's gonna gradually fall apart. I think now Nuno's decided to sort of jump ship, and
it's gonna be a rough one. It's gonna be a real rough one because from what I understand from Jeff Shee or Shu or whatever the fuck his name is, and first they're looking to turn a profit. They're looking to make money. And the way that they're going to make money here is they're not going to spend it, and they're going to sell off players, and it's all going to fall to shit, and it's going to be unfortunate, and we've got Bruno Lage coming in, I guess that's what the rumor is, and apparently they're going to announce him on Monday. I don't necessarily know that's an upgrade.
It's not.
It's not.
I don't. I really don't. And now what is going to piss me off even more is to see Nuno go to to go to Everton.
He'll go to Everton.
Or go to Crystal Palace. That would piss me off.
The thing with it, Mark, is Nuno would look at it and he will look at the club and the stature of the club, and he's taken Wolves as far as they're going to realistically go, unless something drastically changes and you get
with
an
what
Abramovich
ownership is willing to do.
But the thing is, nowadays it's not a case of like it was before when Chelsea got Abramovich and you can come in and you can just throw fucking hundreds and hundreds of millions of money at it and do what you want because of financial fair play. It doesn't work that way anymore.
Right.
You need to be able to bring money in, and Wolves aren't going to be able to generate the sort of money that Leeds United will. If we qualified for Europa League, it's a different animal. It completely is.
No, totally agree.
All of a sudden, players on the continent and players like throughout the country even that are playing for lesser clubs historically or stature-wise will go, fucking hell, I want to play for them. Look at their fans, look at the history, look at the manager, look at everything about the club. And they go, it's only going to go one way. I think once we break into that again, there's no stopping us. I might be deluded and fucking stupidly biased or whatever, but however I look at it, that's how I think. I just think
guys,
once we're there, there's no stopping us.
Terry, to piggyback on this, who said it? Liam just said, Leeds are bigger than Super League Spurs.
100%.
Guys,
100%.
If you can do what I think you can do, which is in the next 4 years, get back to being the club that you are, the big club, but now you've got some actual leadership and an identity. If you could bump stupid ass Spurs to stop calling themselves Big Six
Lolo.
and fucking even Arsenal, because it was a Big Four until
Lolo,
Arsenal
mate.
dropped out.
Hey Lolo, mate, I'm gonna have to stop you. Even when we were in League One, we were still a big club, mate.
No. I know.
Just had to tell you.
We've won the league
I
more
know.
recently than Spurs have.
I'm
There's
just
only a
saying,
handful of teams that have won the league more recently than us.
get the football to match the club, which I think you will. If Arsenal and Spurs don't get their shit together, I was saying, I do not want Arsenal ever to be relegated. But out of Europe, yes. And when they're like, oh, we might sneak into Europe, I'm like, you don't fucking deserve it. That's like my daughter being terrible all day and then go, oh, look, Poppy, free ice cream. And I go, I don't, money wasn't the issue. You don't get ice cream because no. And that's where I was. If we went into Europe, I would have been, it's like, no, these fuckers don't deserve it. They need a year in timeout. It sucks y'all needed 16. I don't wish that on anybody.
Arsenal could do with 16.
Arsenal could do with 1, all right? Relax. Okay?
I made the same point that time we were talking about the Super League shit. You know, I mean, I said, look, what a lot of these clubs need is a time in the wilderness like we had. I mean, because look, you'd be hard pressed to find a group of people like us from any other club to talk about their. I mean, it's just not going to happen because, in a way, we were kind of fortunate in that we missed the whole like corporatization, the commercialization of football. We were out of it for so long, so we maintained that family community atmosphere that we're going to carry with us, I think, no matter what, because, you know, we bring in these new board members. This one guy who's a billionaire, Lowry, from LA. He's Australian, but he's been a Leeds fan, you know, his whole life. And now he's there. And, you know, it's going to be, I think we're going to be able to maintain that atmosphere. We're not going to become a tourist club. And so you're not going to have a situation where outside the Emirates, there are all these backpacks and shit. You know, you're not going to have that with Leeds. And plus, people are too fucking lazy to hop on a train and take the 2.5 hour trip up to Leeds.
Exactly.
I gotta love Mr. Tom's comments here. He's got Leeds 16 years. At Brentford, hold my beer.
Guys, I just want to say hi to some Stoop crew members here. We have Steve Manning and Justin Cross. They haven't been able to get a word in edgewise.
Leeds. Steve's a mate of mine.
I've only come on to back up Olive TV. I've never seen him so quiet all my life.
Oh, we lost you as soon as we put you there.
Come on, Phil. Come on.
You've never
Phil.
seen him so quiet. He's being really nice.
It's
We're
really
talking the
quiet,
whole time.
I'm learning. I'm listening and learning. And if anyone wants to learn, I'll happily preach. But you guys are doing a good enough job without me.
Phil, I thought your microphone was on mute, mate. You know,
It has been on mute quite a lot of the time. Yeah, I've been listening.
Well, no, Phil, I was given strict advice. They're like, listen, if you're gonna have Phil from All Leeds TV on, don't mute his mic. Put his mic on 0.5.
Yeah, that's the right one, mate.
Does that make sense?
Phil likes the 7.5.
Yeah, I
Anything
know.
with 0.5 at the end, to be honest.
So they're on their show. For those of you who don't know, they're out giving numbers, scores for everybody, and he's always 0.5. So I would be as well. Except if you ask anyone who's ever played poker with me, I would probably be at like, this guy's like a 6.72.
Sound like my kind of guy, Lolo.
Yeah, when people are betting like $5, and I go 8.23. I'm like, I know what you have now. Anyway, somebody's got their volume up loud because we're hearing echo and echo and echo. So John's going to try and figure it out by muting everybody individually. And then you will be ejected from the starship. Guys, oh, no, he will not, because our director's internet just crapped out. So,
oh, John,
we won't
sort it
find
out,
it.
mate.
So, guys, I just want to pop on Justin. Justin has been trying to get on a stream with us for the longest time, and it hasn't always worked out. So, Justin, I just want to say, here's your chance, man. What would you like to say?
Always that way.
That about sums it up.
Yeah. And to be fair, I want James back on All Leeds TV.
Yeah,
I can make that happen.
Sort it out, Phil. Get James.
Yeah,
back
don't
on
worry,
All Leeds
we'll
TV.
get it done.
Yeah.
A recurring character.
But let me ask you, Justin, why? Why do you say that?
He's like a David Attenborough character of All Leeds TV.
I'll take that as a compliment. Loving the Attenboroughs like I do.
He's calling you old, James.
I know. He is. Yeah.
He's got that soothing
But if I age like the Attenboroughs, man, come on.
When we got beat by Scum 6-2, you could listen to James, and it wasn't a bad result after listening to James. he calmed it all down.
Sorry, James, I didn't listen to that. I went straight to bed, mate, after that.
That's what we say. You guys watch All Leeds TV. We're not trying to compete with them. They are based in like facts and numbers. That is not our show.
We're based in bullshit.
We'd like to see a bit of a mix. We'd like to see All Leeds TV on the Stoop and Stoop on All Leeds TV.
Hey, Oscar's been on the show, and I used to invite them all the time, and then the season got crazy, and they were going lockdown live, so Joe was on like fucking 24/7, and so we'll see. Next season we can create a more of a partnership and have you guys on. And please, guys, let us know any other YouTube channels that you like, any other podcasts, and we'll work out with them, except for LUTV.
Lolo, can I show you some of that Alt Leeds fans are going to be really jealous of right now?
What? Hold on. Is John back yet? Let me put you full screen. He is back because I just made you exit. Hold on. John, you do it.
Oh, look at that. It's almost a hologram.
Is that a hologram?
It does kind of have that feel to it.
That's an aquarium.
Turn the light on.
Are you at Retrovolt?
Blue LED lights on it.
No, he's at a rave. He's been raving since dawn.
Dude, that's fantastic, man. An autographed Bielsa.
A bucket?
No,
that's what I want.
It's an autograph. It's an LED light.
No, absolutely beautiful.
That's fantastic, man. That's fantastic.
I've got one more for you as well.
All right. Let's
His
see.
underpants.
I feel like he is. Oh, look, there's our show. There you go.
Oh, I love
Hey,
it.
look at that, man.
Played by
Bielsa.
Bielsa.
Look at that. Cast in iron.
It's the bronze Bielsa.
Fantastic.
Wow.
That's awesome, Justin.
Nice,
Wow.
man. Nice.
That's fantastic. Well, I know somebody has offered to send us some buckets, but I just think the shipping. I don't know if we can let anybody do that. The shipping on some buckets to get here onto the stoop, and then they need to be cut out with steps so they fit exactly on the stoop.
Hey, season 3, baby. Anything's possible.
Season 3, anything's possible.
That's going to be our motto.
Well, fantastic. Let's see. What other? Sorry, you guys having a good time? By the way, this is.
Oh, we're having a
By
great
the way,
time.
this
We're
is
talking
the
about Leeds,
show.
and
I don't know if you guys are looking
in.
for anything more,
Great
but
time.
this is the show.
Steven.
Yes, James. How are you doing, mate?
Pretty good, mate. How are you?
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. We'll get it eventually.
I followed your exploits at the pub the other day.
Oh, man.
So back on the lash, are you?
Never again, mate.
That was great.
First pint in about 15 months.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, the first pints hit you hard, man.
Long day.
Well, you survived. It's good to see you, man.
Yeah. There's no fool like an old fool, mate.
So I wanted to ask you guys, all Leeds United fans, once again, I want you to, in your mind, go back 1 year ago today and think about what money you would have bet if somebody would said, I'll bet you $100,000 that Leeds will not finish in the top 10. You wouldn't take that.
I'd have took that all day.
You would have took that bet. You got
What
some
Leeds
spending cash
don't
with all your
get.
blue lights.
Don't or do.
I'd have taken
What do you guys think?
17th. I'd have taken 17th place all day.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to stay up. That was it.
We'd have all wanted to stay up, wouldn't we? But we weren't. I think we all knew we weren't there the way Bielsa played.
I think we all knew that they were all going to underestimate us. I think
we weren't going to be. We wouldn't be a typically promoted side, would we?
Yeah.
We wouldn't sit. We don't draw games, so to sit, we wouldn't go up to take a point somewhere because we keep going forward.
Yeah.
Bielsa's always done that. Did you remember Forest away? First season he was there, we were losing 1-0, went 2-1 up.
Oh, when Jack Black scored, yeah.
And
he kept we kept
he
going
took
forward.
the defenders off and put a centre forward on.
Yeah. He doesn't think of a draw.
No, he wants to win.
We ended up
He
with
wants to
4
win.
strikers on that game, and we down to 10 men.
That's how we play. And so I didn't think we'd be there to make numbers up. But we'd all been happy with 17th place, but was expected to finish in the top 10.
Well, did you guys see?
Really.
We played James's prediction earlier. Did you guys see that?
No, I missed
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you see Leeds finishing this season?
I mean, I'm hoping for, at the worst, mid-table. But I think that if we get some of the players that we're pursuing now, specifically Rodrigo, DePaul, and Rafina, I think that we could break into the top 10. I mean, maybe 9 or 10. Maybe we could pull a Sheffield United. I mean, it's quite conceivable, I think.
Now, let's just hope you don't have a Sheffield United moment next season, because that would be terrible.
I just started the narrative. Thanks.
I just like that he said, at worst, mid-table.
I'll tell you what then, guys.
You guys talk about 17th place. James is like at worst 10.
Let's all put our predictions in for next season now, before we've signed anyone, before we've done anything.
Predictions.
What do we all think?
I'll give you right now. I'm going 7.
I'm going to say 6.
I think you're going to get into Europe in a 7th place spot.
I'm going 6.
6, yeah. I'll go 6.
I'm going 5.
I'll go 5th. I'll go 5th.
I think
we're going to win it, lads. Fuck it.
You're going to win it.
Now. Say it now.
Hey, let's do
You're on camera.
If history's to repeat ourselves.
Okay, fuck it. Rewind it, John. Erase everything we just said, and I'll do this again. I think next season Leeds United are going to win the league.
Come on.
All right, record that. Yeah, we'll play that back. We'll play that one back.
I think seriously, top 6. Gonna say
Look,
6.
I'll get even more specific.
I'll give you top 7. I'll give you top 7.
I think Leeds United are going to kick off grand. You're going to win some games that people don't think you're going to win. You're going to lose some games that people are surprised you lose. But I think you're going to be living in the top 7 zone for the first third of the season. The second third of the season, you're going to nosedive. You're going to hit 10, maybe 11th spot.
Oh, geez. So terrible.
And then the last third of the season.
Can someone give him a red card?
Yeah, where's the red card? Come on.
Last third of the season, you're going to kick on the way you did this season as well. And you're going to finish in a 7th place spot. See, I only got a yellow because he knows.
I tell you, that's all going to be well and good. And
just watch, play that back in 1 year.
It's all going to be well and good, and I would love to see it. But I got to say, I actually want to hold back my predictions until the transfer time is over.
No,
let's see what happens. Because seriously, like, look, man. And here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Once we sign Holland,
y'all don't want Rafinha to leave, but Liverpool's going to come after him hard. They're going to come after him real fucking hard.
You know who's coming after
money eventually will talk.
Liverpool fans.
Fair enough.
Liverpool is actually going after Rafinha.
Let's wait till after transfer window. Let's see what Leeds does. Yeah, I'm going to play the devil advocate. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. You know,
hell of a lot of time.
I think
Jimmy Bremer's Ghost is saying exactly what I'm saying. There's going to be a fast start, middle of the season. It's going to be a little and then everyone's going to be going, oh, Bielsa burnout, and then you're going to end the season like 10 wins in a row or something.
Yeah, but let's wait till that schedule comes out.
No,
I think we'll be pretty solid throughout.
I'm not waiting.
I think we're going to be pretty solid throughout. I don't.
No, you're a solid club to begin with.
Yeah, but once we had our full squad back this season, we're top of the form table for the last 11 games of the season. We're going to, God forbid, there's no injuries throughout the Euros and some of our main players and whatever. If we go in with no injuries and then we add the players that we're going to be looking to gather in the summer, I can't see us having an up and down. Oh, we win some, you lose some, like how we did this season. I think next season we are going to be one of the big players. I think we're going to be one of the top 6 or 7 consistently throughout the league, throughout the whole season. And if we do have a run where we have, like at the back end of this season, where we have 11 games where we win fucking 6, 7 of them, we won't just be a top 6 team. We will be pushing for a top 4.
Yeah.
If we have a run like that, we're not going to be that far off. We only finished 8 or 9 points off of Champions League this season.
That's true.
Yeah, and
that's with teams like Wolves and Brighton doing the double over us. That ain't going to happen next year.
Yeah, no, I agree with Terry, and I think here's some things we learned this past season, man. We learned that Strike can play center back. That was the emergence of a young player. We learned that Koch can provide the cover for Calvin if necessary towards the end. I mean, that's going to save us a fortune. So we go out, we get 3 world-class players, which I think we can do. We can spend on the 7 side of 75 million, 80 million quid for that. Man, God knows what we're going to do, man. We got a left back, we got a central attacking midfielder, and you talk about the goals that are going to go in. Can you imagine the goals if we get a central attacking midfielder? I mean, a world class one. I mean, come on.
Well,
It's going to be amazing.
The other thing you've got to take into account, Rodrigo has shown that he's more than adequate cover for Bamford in the
No,
night.
absolutely.
That's without a pre-season under Bielsa as well. You've got to imagine all the people that we signed last season, a proper full pre-season under Bielsa.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get these new signings in this summer before pre-season starts. They can do the same. And I think generally just getting to grips with, I mean, in Bielsa's books, because it takes 8 weeks for any person to really kind of understand what he wants from them. So I think next season, we saw in the second half of this season, we learned from playing those big stick sides in the first half, and we improved in the second half of the season. I think next season, hopefully, Wolves, Brighton, West Ham, those kind of games, we don't give away 6 points, and that will see us finish higher, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we've only scratched the surface of what Rodrigo can do. I mean, that's what I told people. I mean, we don't even know because he had COVID, he was out for a while, he was injured, and we don't know what he can really do in Bielsa's system yet. And I'm confident that Bielsa's going to find a way to utilize him, and he's going to be a game changer. I think. Because we went through periods this year where we had trouble scoring goals. Patty might be off for a match or two. And then where do the goals come from? We don't have anybody else really. I mean, Rafinha's injured. Next year, different story, man. I think. I don't think we're going to have a problem scoring, and I think we're going to hit those stretches of the season where we're just not putting the ball in the net. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, look at what happened sorry, go on.
Yeah, Rodrigo's learning a new language. He's in a new country, and we've seen those flashes of brilliance from him at the end of the season, towards the end of the season there. He's definitely a class player. Give him that full season like you lads are saying, I think he's going to be world class. I really do.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
This season as well.
I've got a question for you, Phil. Are you ready, Phil? Right.
Always, mate.
Nice one, mate. Alioski next season obviously looks like he's going to stay.
Right.
Who would you like to replace him, and what would you want to do with Alioski? Would you like to move his positions about, or what are you thinking?
I don't think Alioski is going to stay, to be honest. I don't think we've heard anything new out of the club that we didn't already know out of the last few weeks when we had the retained list. I mean, we've known all season that we've offered him a contract numerous times. The offer's been on the table. He's not accepted it. He's still contracted to the club until the end of this month, and he's at the Euros in that time, so I don't think he'll be doing any sort of negotiating period. In my eyes, he becomes a free agent at the end of the month, and then the same with Berardi last season. I'm sure the offer of a contract will still be on the table, but for him, he needs to look at what he wants to do in his own career now. I think he wants to move closer to home. I think he wants to have one last shot at playing first-team football regularly, and I think he knows that he's been pinpointed as the weakness in Leeds United starting 11 this season, and unfortunately for him, that is the one area that they are most keen on just bringing in someone. I mean, everybody's talked about Romain Perraud from Brest. I think that could be an option. People have talked about Nicolas Tagliafico from Ajax. With last season's transfers, someone might just pop up from left field that we've never heard of before. Victor Orta, genius.
Javier Galan, that's what it'd be.
Yeah, it could be anybody, mate. We may never have heard of them before, but I can guarantee you it will be somebody that can go straight into that first team. And Alioski, if he wants to get minutes next season, I think he's got more chance of getting them as a backup to Jack Harrison than he does at left back.
And to be fair as well,
I second everything Phil said.
Yeah, Alioski is as well.
But do you think we should keep him?
Mate, I'm happy whether he stays or whether he goes, as long as he doesn't go to Galatasaray. I really don't give a shit what he does. If he stays, I think he's good enough.
Put him on like 60th minute. Put him on for a run out.
Yeah, he's like a
this season.
Yeah, if he's a squad player, he's a good squad player to have. There's plenty of players that we have at the club this season that we don't need to sell them. We don't need to loan them out. I think we need to keep them under Bielsa and give a bit more depth, because we've had weak benches at times this season. We've had a lot of injuries, and that's not going to stop. It's still going to be a congested season. We are still going to have bodies.
Well, the problem we've got as well, though, is Alioski's, what is he, 29, something like that?
He's going to be 30 soon.
Yeah, it's going to be his last sort of big contract, really.
Yeah,
and if you're Alioski himself, you're going to be thinking, well, I want that last payday. I know I would, you know what I mean, if I had such a short
contract. I mean, hey, look, he's a defense, like Phil was saying, he's a defensive liability left back. That's not a position you can play at. If he's content coming off the bench and he's going to take, I don't know, a small contract, maybe for a year or two, then sign him. But I mean, I don't think he's willing to do that. I mean, I think like Phil said, I mean, I think he has aspirations to go and play first team football someplace, maybe play in Europe if he's lucky. And I don't think that he's I don't think he's going to stick around.
I know. I don't think so either. I wouldn't say he's a defensive liability. I think in the last 10, 15 games of this season, he's improved massively. He's probably been one of our top sort of 4 or 5 players in the back end of the season. He's been magnificent since sort of all the rumours started about the whole Galatasaray and this, that, and the other. I'm exactly. I was fucking fuming because I love Alioski. I think he's a bit of a cult hero, and we love the whole Gianni Cam and the antics that he does off the pitch as well as on, and this, that, and the other. But for me, I think he's really sort of made a stake as being a potential player for us to do a bit next season. I said on our podcast at the back end of last year, I think it might have been, what was the second from last game? Was it Southampton where we really showed up? I can't fucking remember now. It seems ages ago. But I said to the boys, I said, if that was the first game of this season and he was our new left back and you didn't know who the fella was and he was our new left back, I would be saying, fuck me, we've signed a proper player there. Like, he performed that well. It's only that historically he's made a lot of errors defensively, and I think we sort of hold a bit of a grudge there. But we've got to look at the improvements he's making as well.
He's still inconsistent, though.
He is massively inconsistent.
Yeah. But he's improved massively, I think, in the back end of the season. And I think he's easily made a stake to be a backup left winger and left back.
Right.
Yeah. And if the new left back that we bring in isn't like putting in the sort of shift that he's putting in and doing a bit, he's got to force him out of that position. The guy's
I'm fine with him being a backup. I would have problems with him as a starter because I think we can do a lot better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. See, the issue is
I'm fine signing him if he's content to be a backup and be a squad player. I mean, that's fine by me, you know.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case, though. I think he wants to start.
I think so too.
I think
window because of the Euros.
Yeah.
So with him not signing the contract, regardless of what we've offered him, he's in the shop window because he's playing.
He is, yeah.
It's his last contract. So
yeah. If I'm Alioski's agent, I'm sitting there rubbing my hands right now. I'm just sitting there thinking that's going to be that big
absolutely
where we go. You know,
he'll get a big sign-on fee as well, being out of contract.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Listen, and so if he has a good tournament, well, a couple of good games, he could go anywhere, really. You know,
he could go Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, and it will be coming from this Leeds setup and how hard he will have to work under Bielsa. Wherever he goes, it's going to be a fucking walk in the park.
No murder ball.
Here's my thing with Alioski. How much are you going to sell him for?
Nothing. His contract's up, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's it going to cost to replace the work ethic, the mentality, the shithousery, all the things we love about him?
The piss boiling.
What's it going to cost? Honestly, to get a guy to fill his shoes, just to fill his shoes, not to be better. Exactly. You know, you're looking at a $5 to $10 million at least, right? That's like
that actually wouldn't be a bad price.
That'd be on the low end.
Perfectly honest, and
That's
that's
on the
something that
super low end.
that's something that
So-
Leeds does really well is they find the diamonds in the rough.
No, Bielsa has polished these fucking pieces of coal and
Fair
turned
enough.
them into diamonds. Because as I told Patrick
Isn't that
Bamford to
isn't
his
that the
face,
definition of a diamond in the rough?
you said Leeds finds diamonds in the rough.
And
no, Bielsa
is
goes,
not Bielsa the representation of Leeds?
no. Bielsa
No?
bought a bag of Kingsford. He bought a bag of charcoal.
And he wrapped it in peanut butter
at the fucking Stop and Shop, and he turned them into, because as I told Patrick Bamford to his face afterwards, and this is why I'm like, why not show the whole fucking video of me talking? Because I think that's what every video should be. Sorry. But where I said, do you mind if I talk to Patrick Bamford by myself? And they're like, yeah, no problem. And I'm like, Patty, Patrick, Bam Bam, Bammy.
Lord Bamford.
And I said, this was before he was a Lord.
Yeah.
And I said, I just need you to know, and I want you to know how lucky you are to have Bielsa at this time in your life and at this point in your career. Because imagine Patrick Bamford, imagine Melier, imagine anyone on your fucking team without him. The next 4 years of their career, if they didn't get something going, if they didn't go on a crazy run and score 100 goals or get picked up by some team, they would be championship players.
Mm-hmm.
Who else in the league? Let's talk about Bamford as a striker. On any other team, pretty much, he's benched. Halfway through the season, he's benched. Missing. Bamford missed, 25 big chances? He wasn't the most, but I think he was the second most. Or maybe he was the most. Missed chances. If Bamford had made all of his chances, he would have had like 40 goals this season. Who else continues to start? Melier throws the ball to an opponent and they score a goal. Misses the near post, misses this one, does these terrible decisions. And the next game, without a doubt, he's starting. Tyler Roberts shouldn't be anywhere near a Premier League pitch. But this guy sees something, and you know what? He's getting better, and he's getting better. And Mark, God damn it, he scored a goal.
And I'm surprised that he was wanting to talk about anybody else other than the fact that he scored his goal in his interview. He's like, I scored.
Mr. Tom, and maybe you're right. Maybe that's why he doesn't respond. Yo, you up? And he's like, I'm not talking to you. You told me I should be playing. I'm not saying he should have been. I'm saying he could actually become a Golden Boot striker because of this manager. All I'm saying is this is a deadly league. This is a deadly league. And if you fuck up, you're gone. If you don't produce, you're gone. Someone else is right behind you. And Bielsa said, I've got 23 fucking dudes that I want to play with this season. And that's all I'm going to play with.
So there he is.
And these
and
are
there
them.
they are. There they are.
Oh, look at Berra.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
It looks like me, James, and Lolo are part of this team, you know.
Bill, I'd like to think that we are. No.
Mark's sneaking in on it as well.
Why the fuck's Pico Casilla in there?
He played.
He didn't know.
These
did
are
he?
the 23 men that took the pitch this season.
I didn't see him.
You know, you guys had.
Fantastic.
You guys
No, I
had,
didn't see Kiko play. No, he wasn't there.
Well, he didn't. He got a clean sheet because he didn't do anything.
No, I didn't see him.
No,
I did my research. I did my research. All 23 of them.
Whoa! I hear the director.
Yeah.
There he is.
Back in your box, John.
Now listen, guys. The whole thing. I'm not shitting on Patrick Bamford. All I'm saying is, in most teams, you're not given the opportunity to fail and learn from your mistakes. Melier, every match, you saw him. When he missed a goal near post, I think it was against Arsenal when we won, James was furious about that. The next match, there was a near post corner or something. He was right there on it. When he had a bad throw, one match, the next match, all of his throws were tighter and something else needed work. So this is Melier is bent. Look at fucking Brighton with Paul with Ryan, Matt Ryan, who now fucking Arsenal have for some reason. Matt Ryan is a quality goalkeeper. He had a bad day and they benched him and they started someone else and they started going and eventually he lost his job. David De Gea. Yeah. This is all I'm saying. How nice, how lucky are these guys that they know I'm allowed to make a mistake as long as I learn from it and I work hard in training to correct it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's unbelievable. You're absolutely spot on. But
because he is because they keep doing what Bielsa wants them to do.
Exactly, and that's what matters more. That's what matters more than any stat. Then I bet you Bielsa could give a shit about the number of clean sheets you have. He's going to talk to you about but the pass you did at the 32nd minute was terrible. Yeah. To him, it's all about do your job, and if you fail, that's totally fine as long as you're working to get better. Yeah. And that's what Bamford does, and that's what Tyler Roberts does, and that's what Melier does, and that's why they're still playing. Even Jack Harrison, I've been giving him shit for months now. I've been saying he's crap.
Should be in the England team.
Yes. No, he should not. Get off that.
Yes, he should.
He fucking should. Jack Harrison?
For who?
Jack Harrison.
Bukayo Saka, mate.
No, not at all.
All right. Look at goals and assists. Just look at that. Yeah. Done. He's got more of both. So argue that one.
Argue that one?
I'm not going to argue.
Those are not the stats that matter.
Well, they are for an attacking player. They sort of are. It's pretty much like Bamford should be in because all that matters for a centre forward is fucking goals and assists.
Jack Harrison play left back?
I'll give you Bamford.
Jack Harrison play left back this season?
Yes. Well, can Saka, because if he could, they'd have played him last night at left back. Well, they'd have played him last night at left back rather than fucking Kieran Trippier, who's a right back. They picked him at left back ahead of Saka. So,
however, Kieran Trippier has been one of the best all right season. Back. I don't know if you've watched.
Yeah, but at right
whichever side he plays on. I don't know him that well.
He's not played left back for Atletico Madrid. He hasn't played there once for Atletico.
Right back.
All right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I mean. They picked him ahead of Saka at left back, but then they're picking Saka because he can play left back as well. It's like, well,
no, because
playing there then.
What I'm saying is he should not be playing left back. He should not be. But if Saka was on Leeds, maybe he'd be playing on Alioski's spot for some reason. Why does your left back wear number 10?
Because he signed as a winger.
He signed 3 years ago as a winger.
Yeah.
All right, boys.
Jack Harrison's terrible.
Here, Mr. Director, please.
I think Phil wants to cut out.
Yeah, sorry guys. I'm up for work.
I told you guys, whenever you're ready.
Yeah, I got to bounce out myself because I had a 4.5 hour drive before I came on the show. So,
fellas.
I just wanted to say a quick thank you on behalf of all Leeds TV. We have got a fantasy football app going on Scorito. If you want to get involved on that, we can all play together and we can keep in touch over the summer. And fingers crossed, I'll see all of you on all Leeds TV next.
Yeah, let's do. Yeah, we'll do a Leeds preview show. In July.
Mate, give us all a shout. We're always here to help whenever you can get us involved, and we'll do the same the other way around. It's been a pleasure meeting all of you guys.
Fantastic, Phil. Thanks for being on the show, mate.
Leeds.
Next evening, fellas. Enjoy the rest of the show, guys.
Take care, Phil.
I'm going to slide out as well because, like I said, I had a 4.5 hour drive before I got on the show. Thank you everyone for joining us today. James and Justin, Rob, Terry, Phil, Bob, And then also everybody else in the comments, all of our Stoop crew, we love you. I love you, and I'm gonna dip out and get some rest. Look forward to season 3.
Can I just jump in and say a massive thank you to Mark for all of the work you've put in this year and everything. Thank you.
All good lads, love you.
See you later, Mark.
Boys, I'm gonna jump out as well because it's
I'm off as
12
well. I've
now
got work in the morning.
Yeah, I'm the same.
To the Stoop for having me. It's been great.
Everybody.
Great book,
See you guys again.
Great
Nice
book.
chatting to you, mate.
Cheers, Phil.
Phil Reeves. Honestly, Phil, this summer we should do a long. And he's gone. Fuck it.
Boys, I'm gonna jump out as well. I'll leave you guys to it. I've got I've got to get up in 2 hours for work. But
Me and James will be the last man standing like usual. Okay.
I gotta walk the dogs.
Again, boys.
My dogs are waiting to be walked.
Man.
Well, guys, listen. We're gonna call it a wrap. So
Yeah, get on only football fans podcast, lads. Come on, get listening, get watching on our YouTube. We've got loads of good interviews on there. Loads of more good interviews coming up as well. Get involved.
Don't listen to him, James. He keeps telling me that too, and he's never invited me.
It's coming, boys. Don't you worry about that.
So, guys, it's been fantastic, but I would love to close the show. We're gonna play the poem one more time to close the show.
Lolo,
let everybody see
James, it's been a pleasure to be with you.
Steven's back. Steven.
James. Lolo.
Justin,
it's
been a pleasure tonight to be with you tonight.
Hi guys.
Hi, Steven.
I just want to say thanks for a great show all season. It's been fantastic.
Cheers, Steven. Cheers, mate.
I've loved it.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll be talking. Music and other things soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steven and I like the same music, so that's good.
Great.
I'm going to bow also, lads. Leeds.
Right,
Bob, Leeds. Great seeing you, man.
You too, buddy. You
too. Good seeing you as well. So, guys, we're just going to close the show out right here. James, it's been fucking fantastic this whole season.
Been a great season. Yep.
I know. I don't even believe what we're looking at. Like when we see the amount of Stoop crew that we have, and it's all, thanks to your knowledge and you deciding to talk to us and educate me and Mark. So
yeah, it's my pleasure to help a fellow Saints fan, man.
Yeah, man. Who that?
Hey, we got the big sleazy in common, my friend.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm gonna close us out playing the poem one more time for everybody, and we'll be in touch and we'll talk as well.
Sounds good.
Fantastic season.
Leeds.
Peace, John. Thank you, Director John.
See you, Director John. See you, Rob. See you, everybody.
Leeds. Welcome back to the Stoop football fans. It's your boy Lolo, and I'm here with a very special presentation for the most exciting team of the Premier League season. This one's for you, Leeds United fans. For all of y'all, thank you for entertaining us, and thank you for so many of you guys joining the Stoop crew. This is for you. 16 years since they've been here in the top flight. So ladies and gents, welcome back to the Mighty Whites. Down a division and then down another tier. It might have took forever, but they're back this year. And this team here is not the same old. This one here has eyes on the top half of the table. From week one, going to the home of the champs, thrown straight into the fire with butterfly cramps. But before the whistle was blown and that first kick was taken, a moment to remember the 16 years that it's taken to break in to the top flight and bring home the bacon, to influence the league and leave the mother clubs shaking. But this is Liverpool at Anfield, don't expect too much. They won the league in style and can hardly be touched. But here come these kids, this championship squad. All of a sudden it wasn't Salah making the punditry applaud. In the end, Leeds lost the match 3-4, but the league was given notice that they couldn't ignore, that these boys gonna score, leave the mother teams floored, that anyone watching it would not be bored. But whatever, this is just a newly promoted side. Come the middle of the season, their pace will have died. They'll have nowhere to hide. They'll have no legs to ride. They'll suffer Bielsa burnout and a second tier slide. And then there were moments here and there that the fans started to wonder, can we do just enough to keep us from going back under? How many points do we need to stave off relegation? Just gotta buy us another year to build up this foundation. but lose to Leicester by 3 and to Chelsea 3-1. Sorry to bring it up, everybody, but 6-2 to the scum? Everyone's saying, watch the burnout begin. These guys were fun for a bit, but here's where it ends. That Bamford guy sucks, misses most of the shots that he takes. That kid in the goal makes mostly mistakes. This team runs around like a chicken without a head. Yeah, they scored a bunch of goals, but their defense is dead. Hold up. Apologies for when I said everyone was saying. Because Leeds fans all knew that this way of playing wasn't just some gimmick to win a few games. Bielsa flipped the whole club. Top to bottom they changed. It wasn't a flash in the pan, a one-season wonder of a thing. It was El Loco with a gut feeling in 2018. Coming to a club with the history but all in the past. So he hit the ground running with his foot on the gas, had the boys in the grass, perfecting the pass, murder ball sessions kicking all of their ass. And you could tell, every team they played went through hell, doing post-match presses, not breathing too well. Well, you know, every time you play Leeds United, they make you run. But it wasn't going to be enough to just be fun and exciting. Losing to Arsenal, then Wolves, we could all see the season sliding. First few months of the new year were middling at best, but the death month of April would be the ultimate test. You had Blunts, then City, Liverpool, then Scum. Honestly, 4 points would have been a decent outcome. Start off, beat the Blunts, trap game, no problem. Wasn't even bothered by that dude Feckenbottom. Then the match of the year, hell, the career of those men on the pitch and your boy right here, when a 10-man Leeds team took down City. That Dallas nutmeg on Edison was so damn pretty. Looked like a loss to Liverpool until then they got a last-minute goal by Diego Llorente. Another draw at home, this time to the Scum, but I'm pretty sure the refs missed a handball in that one. Either way, well done. 8 points in the month of death. Then I guess they took a moment at Brighton to catch their breath. But they done it. The goal of survival was met. Only 4 matches to go, but the boys weren't done yet. Finish strong was the cry. Push into the top 10. So they won all 4 and let the party begin. Pablo and Berardi were sent off in style to an Ellen Road crowd filled with tears and smiles. Every Leeds fan that suffered for the last 16 years knows that those 2 were key to getting y'all right here. That last match at home was an emotional one. The first time seeing fans, hearing songs being sung. Imagine the boys playing all season with no crowd. Then that first marching on together being belted out loud. How could they not just stop playing and just stare at the stands? I mean, I'd be weeping, overwhelmed with my head in my hands, thinking about all these people, survivors, them all. This year was so different. It wasn't just about football. We've been in a pandemic, torn apart. So we dive into our clubs to feel something in our heart, to feel a connection with people, the players, other fans, to close your eyes and remember the feel in the stands. We've lost jobs, lost lives, lost family and friends. So yeah, I'm not saying that football is where it ends, but a season like this reminds you of what sports can do. A year ago, we had none of y'all in our Stoop crew. So finally, we got an answer to our season's first question. Who the hell are Leeds United? Our latest obsession. Love y'all. Peace from Brooklyn.